We are getting into the spicy stuff here at EPIC46 with Intel. Our CS2 tournament sponsored by Asus ROG has reached its playoff stage, and we have a clash of, well, it's sort of the UK versus Europe here, as we've got the reigning UKIC champions in NEMESIS taking on the new look, reinventing themselves, NEMESIS.
I think I feel like NEMESIS are going to be the underdogs. They are the UK reigning champs. The way they're playing today is on point. Unfortunately, they did lose to TLR on a 39, a very close series on the map of Dust 2. But talking about NEMESIS overall, in the recent ESA main, unfortunately, they won 3 games and lost to very big teams, like especially like Falcon Force, Perimeter, if I am correct. UKIC winners, we did mention that, and today's Epic Clan, they've won 6 games, but remember this, one game did get forfeited, so it worked in their favor, and they had a longer break. But overall, NEMESIS are looking good, especially they're doing well in the UKIC in the current season right now. They're in the top 4 bracket and in the upper bracket as well, and currently they got a sub, Jostas, who is currently standing. But who's the current standing for double, if I'm correct, or I could be wrong.
No, he's actually standing in for Biggin. Jorstad standing for Biggin. But I don't think that substitute's going to matter too much. Jorstad was part of that UKIC winning roster, then known as the Drip Men, before them being signed by NEMESIS. And as you mentioned, they did have that unfortunate defeat to TLR in the group stage on Mirage, but they were down 9-1 at one point, and they clawed it back to 13-9, a much more respectable scoreline. They do still have a lot to improve on, though, and against a team like NEMESIS, who have just walked the group stage, this is going to be a real test. Thankfully, they're in the upper bracket, so they do have another chance after this, should things go awry. But I do think, yeah, I think I don't really see a way that NEMESIS are going to be able to claw this one out. I know I have my UKCS biases, and I want the team to do well, but I think NEMESIS are too strong a team. If you look at the players they've got, the likes of Thomas and Crucial, veterans of the UK scene, major quarter-finalists, you have to remember, with ITB. And, you know, they've got some good players on the back of that as well. Looking at the likes of Nexius, signed from OG. Obviously spent a year on the bench, so he may be a bit rusty getting back into things, but they have got quality throughout, and it's going to be really tough for NEMESIS in this one. But we won't know until we get into the maps. And speaking of the maps, the veto has come in, and you have to say, judging by this map pick, I think this is almost as good as NEMESIS could have hoped for if they would stand a chance. That nuke pick, completely understandable. They have made that map their home. Inferno Decider is really good for them as well. It's a map that they have dominated domestically on. Mirage, that defeat to TLR maybe still lingering in their mind. As you mentioned, the bye in the final group stage game means that is their last game. Their last game was the defeat on Mirage. So is that still lingering in their mind, or have they had the extra time to recover from it?
I think currently right now NEMESIS is a great perfect pick, especially they do really well in the side of Nuke on the CT side, and even in the T side, so I would say Nuke is a perfect map. Mirage is a 50-50 in my personal opinion, because I've seen particular players like Prime, he struggles on it. I feel like on the T side, if he can get started his T side campaign really well, honestly, there's a chance for him to potentially roll over NEMESIS, but I don't want to put that just yet. And Inferno, I'm not really supportive of it, because their CT side is perfect. The way they can retake and defense side, really good. But on the T side is where they really struggle. Honestly, like, especially the coach. I remember this scene speaking to him he's a former ex-NEMESIS coach, funny fact. So this is like a former, how would you call it?
So yeah, obviously NEMESIS coach being ex-NEMESIS, he's going to be familiar with particularly Prime, who of course he was coach for back during the previous NEMESIS roster. So there is going to be a bit of knowledge there, but this is still mostly a different roster coming out here, and it will actually be starting on NEMESIS pick of Nuke. NEMESIS on the CT side, and on NEMESIS need to get off to a hot start here.
Indeed, especially I feel like the deadliest players, in my personal opinion, seeing these guys is particularly Prime, Tadpole, and Fraser. If particularly these three, can lock in, create the synergy, like this team will become a deadly force towards Team NEMESIS. But for now, we're gonna get started towards the A lobby. It seems to be an A execute after all, but on the opposing CT side.
Yeah, I don't want to get too aggressive here. The double set of Julies for Team NEMESIS. Crucial on top of the heart, and Thomas playing close to the door. Aces need to be very careful with this. Execute door, squeaky door being broken open. Nexius does find the opening onto Dobbo. Jaws there with the bomb trying to get the entry, but this is just a complete and utter slaughter. The Julie's ringing out. Nexius chiming in as well with a lovely tap onto Prime. Nemesis could not have hoped for a better start to the game.
I truly agree. No one died. They had the economy will work in their favor. While on the opposing side with Aixons, they got 0 kills. They didn't even get a bomb plot. Now they're going to have to eco this. They can't even buy shield. They can't even upgrade the pistol. Because they know now this will be a difficult start. I'm not calling it just yet. I'm just saying this. Aixons, the next couple rounds are going to be most crucial rounds. This team, they have the skill. They have everything in their power. It's the mentality is something what they struggle on, particularly as a whole.
Yeah, I do understand that entirely with the Aixons. There have been moments of very clear tilt among players in some of their games. I think Fraser in particular as an IGL is quite prone to it, and I think that's probably going to be another one to add to his tally of getting a bit tilted. Lovely shot from Note to take him down. But Aixons cannot let the occasion get the better of them. They know they are one of the strongest teams in the UK, but against this international roster, this European juggernaut of Nemesis, it's going to be difficult for them. And I mean, that was an easy anti-eco, to be fair. Still yet to find a frag are Aixons.
Indeed, but it's fine, it's fine. They're gonna go straight for a full buy, a half buy. Nothing too crazy. Gonna get the utility up at least to get some few weapons, few hands-on direct weapons. To see, it's interesting to see. Are they gonna go straight for the ace, or are they gonna play more of an outside approach?
Well, they have the utility at their disposal. Prime forfeiting in the AK-4. Significant more smoke and a Molotov. But Nemesis, they have been building that bank. Rifles across the board for the CT side. No, it's looking like it's going to be put under pressure at Squeaky, and the spam calling it clear for now. Little tag onto Prime, but no significant damage being dealt. The execute coming in now. Prime fought close to Mini. No, is actually going to try and break the smoke, but unsuccessful, and that has allowed Prime avenue onto that B halls. But this little lobby crunch trying to come in Nexius. He's going to get back to turn. Fraser is not going to be ready for this in the slightest. Knife out. Nexius able to escape as well. Very disciplined play there.
Prime has already made his way towards near the B side. Crucial is going to hold the position and Tane with the support.
Yeah, Prime's going to need to make a sound cue if he wants to try and support his teammates on ramp. Otherwise, he's just going to have to rely on them to get these kills, and it's going to be a 3 4. It's actually going to be a 3 versus 1. We see Crucial vacating the premises, so it's just going to be Tyne, the former Los Cogutos man. Smoke begins to fade now. Just there begins his crawl out. Shots to give away the position. Tapol does find an opening, and there is Prime's activation, taking down Tyne. So Aixons do find themselves with a man advantage. Note is already on the scene inside of Decon. Opens the door. Just there has to be ready for this. Actually, great cover there from Godspell, taking him down. And Thomas and Nexius are miles away. You would understand why they would save here, because this is going to be an impossible site to break back open. AK recover from Nexius, and Nemesis will cede the round over to the British roster.
Agreed, honestly agreed. Aixons played that perfectly, got the entries they needed. Prime worked his way onto bottom while creating without making too much noise and catching Nemesis off guard. That was a perfect play. I think this is what makes Aixons unique in itself. The play style, the play. The way they play their Counter-Strike is not usual Counter-Strike, and this is the reason why these guys are the former UKIC winners.
Oh, they're the reigning UKIC
reigning
champions.
Apologies.
Yeah, come on. They're not former. They haven't lost their title yet. They are still in it for this season as well. Thomas will be allowed to keep that in 4 despite Prime's efforts to hunt him down. But yeah, Aixons getting on the board early, proving to Nemesis, sending a statement, we can still compete with you. And as you mentioned, it was a very one note but very effective T-side call there from Fraser. There have been a lot of critics of his calling style, but when I have the opportunity to watch him, I am more often than not very impressed with his decision making. Nemesis will still be able to buy into this one, and he'll have to do it again, swinging out wide into the open. Crucial, what a shot from Fraser! Crucial just not quick enough on the draw. Nexius is here to try and salvage it, but he can't afford to go down here.
Nexius, he's going to keep checking on the outside. Tadpole, he's already on top of the silo. And no, 2 playing Tadpole gets another one. Double one task by 2 different players. These players are online. These players are showing exactly why they really want to win this best of 3. A-Lobby is already getting control. Now they're going to get to try to maybe the A execution. 2 players already under.
Yeah, look at this read from Nemesis. They have got this completely wrong. All of 8sins are grouped up inside of lobby, and Nemesis retreating down under. They have no clue where the T side have gotten off to.
This is such a wrong call.
There's still time to recover it, but as that execute comes out onto the A, the knowledge begins to dawn on Nemesis that they have gambled wrong. So I don't see a way that the CT side will even consider retaking this. This is almost certain to be a tied game, and any Nemesis hopes of an early night and a quick stomp, they are vanishing before our eyes.
I feel like there's more pressure on Team Nemesis as a whole because this is an international roster. Team Nemesis are quite a growing big org, and these are one of the few paid players within the current Epic clan right now, and there's a lot more pressure on this team to really perform and get themselves the VRS ranking. Right now, I feel like there's more pressure on Nemesis comparing to 8sins.
Yeah, both of these teams are here to compete for a VRS rank. 8sins not far away themselves off the back of Epic LAN and UKIC results. So this is a good opportunity for both teams. But as you mentioned, Nemesis, they are a very ambitious organisation. They tried to build a new roster focused around the UK-centric players. It did not work. They were entering the Birch Cup and they got annihilated. They knew changes had to be made. Thomas calling back to his OG stand-in days, picking up Nexius, and it seems to be working so far, but we've yet to see them against real competition. Then I think this may be the first proper test for them, and this is where we find out what they're truly made of.
Indeed, both sides with full buys. All the utilities that is required now. Now we're going to see who actually prevail now. AVP will be pulled out by Fraser. We all know how deadly this IGL is with his AVP. He's going to try to get more early control, outside control, and 2 players are going to go towards ramp.
Yeah, 8sins, they do look like they want to try and crawl their way down towards Secret. Little do they know that Nemesis already have a player occupying the halls, and that barrage of bullets and utility does force 8sins away. Complete reset coming out here from the T side. Nexius, that early rotation will not really matter, and a second rotation coming down as well. Tyne still waiting out the ramp. He does have a couple of players around the corner, but 8sins choosing just to whittle down the clock, whittle down the CT utility. Molotov deployed. The 2 players clearing out Secret here for Nemesis. Trying to gain information, and 8sins are looking quite static. They do need to begin to make a play, to begin to activate, put a little bit of pressure on the CT side, because Nemesis are gaining so much information here with this Secret clear. Nexius does lose his life, but Note is still hanging around, is spotted out as this A-pop comes in from the T side. Just there, able to get one before going down, or Tadpole goes down, and then Note doubles up for himself as well. Fraser and Prime, 40 seconds on the clock. And Fraser, now he has been spotted out on that crawl towards Hell. And I think 8sins, you're not really going to get this one done. I think you need to try and save these weapons.
That's the hardest part now. They need to get away and actually preserve the weapons. I'm not sure what Prime is actually trying to do. He's going to try to play around the smoke.
I don't know why he's trying to find this opening. Fraser is absolutely nowhere near him. And that's just, that's a bit overconfident there from Prime, and a little bit of lack of team cohesion, I think. Yeah, maybe a bit of a misplay there from Prime, because that's an AK gun that you very much could have used in the next one. Because look at that, 2800 on, some would argue, the star player for this 8sins roster. He's probably going to be left with a lesser weapon unless he's dropped one by the likes of Tadpole or Godspell.
I feel like in these moments, this best of 3, it kind of determines quite a lot on where you place yourself in the seeding, and especially if VRS is on the line. You want to mitigate as much mistakes as possible, especially. At least if you can take the first map off your opponent's pick, it makes your life so much easier, and at least you can go with a peace of mind. Cool, if we lose one, we can gain a second one.
Yeah, you do think this map is must win for 8sins. Their pick. Mirage is a map that they are competent on, but unexceptional as shown in that TLR game. Nemesis, this would just be an added bow in there, an added feather in their cap if they're able to take down 8sins on their own pick, put them in great standing for the rest of the series. But there's still a lot of CS to be played in this one.
They're already getting early control now. Smokes are coming into place. For majority of the players are the A side. Nexius, is he going to take that peak as there's a little gap between Secret?
Yeah, it would be a very ambitious swing by Nexius, and he doesn't really need to when he's got the cover of Crucial. Lovely little shot. can't quite finish off Fraser, and that has forced 8sins into a bit of an acceleration down into the B halls. Note is already here and waiting. That smoke will give 8sins a clue that there is someone still lurking around. Little do they know, Tyne is just behind them. Note able to get one. Quick trade out low from Tapple, but little do they know, Tyne, lovely double headshot. Sticking around for more as well. Fraser, 1 versus 4. We've seen heroics from this man in the past, but I'm not sure this is going to be the game for it. Tyne, he's just pushing the number. Fraser will take him down eventually, but there's a lot to do. One player still in the B halls that Fraser is unaware of. Does have the bomb on his back, but Crucial coming out of decon now. There is nowhere for Fraser to go. He needs to win this fight, and he just cannot. The Battle of the Orpers goes the way of Crucial, and Nemesis 4-2 up now.
The economy is sort of damaged. 8sins could go for a half fight if Fraser is willing to drop.
I don't think that's a wise move. I think it got 2,400 loss. I think you just bite the bullet. You take what you got. A couple of Deagles being dropped across. Give them I think the next round is the one that's going to matter for 8sins. I think this one, if you can try and get a couple kills, keep the economy of the CTs in check. That is your main aim in this one. A bomb plant would be an added bonus, but on Nuke, it's a very difficult thing to achieve.
Indeed. This is going to be more of a challenge. Crucial already gets the first pick. Can he get the second pick? One player stuck on silo. Another one just jiggling, trying to see if he can get any reaction.
Yeah, Crucial already in waiting, but Tapol will actually take his head off. The Battle of the One-Shot Guns goes the way of the hand cannon. Nexius still trying to gain some information outside. Jorstad dropping onto the main roof. That will have been heard. Note is ready, and Nemesis are very much grouped out to deal with this outside control. You've got Note and Nexius both jiggling at the angle. Thomas is not far away to support should he be called upon. Note maybe overextending a little bit, but I guess he does have the cover from Nexius to deal with anything that anyone up on silo or roof can do. Cross smoke's being deployed. There is a Molotov to try and deny this push, but he actually misses the mark. Smoke break though, no. Lovely little shot onto Godspell, doubling up for himself as well. Tapo still lurking towards the back of red. He's able to escape for now, but with 40 seconds on the clock, with just a Deagle to work with, I don't think there's much more he can do. If he's able to take down Thomas, that is at least something. One more would make this a successful round for 8sins, but with Notes already on the fast flank, it's just not going to happen. So Nemesis, 3 alive, not the worst case scenario. AWP recovered for Crucial, and 8sins immediately calling a timeout.
Fair play, honestly, fair play is perfect time to really call a timeout before things do start getting out of hands. It's not like a best of one. You actually have time to, how would you say, mold yourself into the play that you want to be in this best of 3. But for now, they've done the damage to Nemesis economy. At least the damage is done dead, especially to Thomas. Someone could still drop Thomas, but 8sins, they have the economy now. They need to kind of reevaluate: is outside play really worth it, or they can go for a rush ramp towards ramp. We haven't seen that just yet.
Yeah, we've not really seen. The only real ramp pressure we saw was that first gun round, and even then it was very slow play, mainly facilitated by Prime already pushing himself up the ramp to help. And I think the slow rounds are where 8sins are going to really excel. This outside pressure, Nemesis just seem ready for it. 2 players trying to deal with any sort of pressure that 8sins have put upon them. And actually we see Nexius already getting himself into secret. Smoke wall going out for the T side. Smoke break for Crucial. Nothing presenting itself. I don't know if he saw the shoulder of Jorstad there. Lucky to escape with his life thanks to the spread of the smoke. Nexius molling forward and Fraser is ready. Lovely little shot from him. Double drop down the vents here for Nemesis. This is really expecting 8sins to play typical simple Counter-Strike, and it's just not happening. Crunching into A. Thomas only goes one and done. Tyne rotating in from ramp does get the dink off. Fraser and Godspell on low HP. This is still not over. Nemesis can still get their way back into this one, even with the man disadvantage, which is now equalized from that one tick of a molly from Note.
This is do or die for 8sins. So many players are low, and this is really his do or die. Joestar, he's really tucked himself onto a corner now. I don't know whether another pick went by.
He doesn't know Note crossed.
Oh no.
Oh, Prime is ready for it. Yeah, but he has to watch so many angles. He does get lucky with the timing. Note cleaned up, and Crucial immediately trying to save the AWP. I don't know if he's going to be able to. I think you still take damage there on Nuke.
Yeah,
this is a This is going to be interesting. This is actually going to be really nice for my pug, so I can actually know where to stand with the AWP.
At 3 health.
At 3 health? Not
No.
there. Not there.
If he's 75, I think he will
Oh,
survive.
if he's 75, he absolutely wins that.
Yeah.
With 3 HP, no chance.
Hell no. Now the damage is done now, but Crucial will, of course, will go rebuy himself to AVP now. Jolster with... It's okay. So it's a good, decent buy coming from Asins, while on Nemesis, everything's fine, the economy's working. If Asins could win this, they could damage Nemesis' economy.
Yeah, Nemesis' economy hanging by a thread right now. Thomas relegating himself to the MP9. Did have the money to purchase into an M4, but would have had to concede a lot of utility, choosing to set up his teammates instead. Crucial going for a very aggressive peek off the back of Redbox, but 8sens not overextending just yet.
They're not going to overextend the play they already have begun. Nexus, he's already working his way through, but doesn't seem the high risk and the reward behind it.
Yeah, smart play from Nexus. Doesn't want to be caught out by any sort of T-side aggression there, because once you're in the position, you are in a very strong spot, but getting there is a whole different story. Crucial tucks himself into secret, aware of the possibility of a T-side player being on red. But 8sens are actually grouping up towards ramp here. They're going to try and put Tyne to the test. Flash. Oh, Crucial blind, still able to get the kill onto Prime. Lovely little timing from him. Tyne able to escape down the ramp as well. Not able to get a kill, but preserving his life is crucial here. Dobbo trying to chase him down and just not able to hit the shot. Tyne staying alive, buying time for his teammates, and 8sens, this offense is coming a bit limp now. Jorstead does get one, but no, chiming in with a double, and Crucial puts the nail in the coffin of this round. Nemesis, they are looking like they're going to get rolling again here. 8sens had their little flurry, but the European mix very much in this.
We got to remember this, Nemesis play style is not going to be the same UK style. Thomas, of course, coming from the UK, great representation of UK CS. Especially got players like Nexus. He played for OG. I'm assuming his play style is a little bit more different compared to what 8sens would love to play. They're going to call another timeout, the second timeout of the match. Understandably and respectfully, understand respectfully that why they took the timeout makes sense. Why they chosen it now, I think they're calling timeouts at perfect times, but I don't see the timeout really coming into play. That's the only issue.
Yeah, and I think the issue for 8sens is you only get 3 of them, and they've only got 1 left. The game's not even half done yet. Nemesis not even halfway to that magic 13. 8sens, you're burning through them quite quick. Are you really going to be able to keep this going for the second half with no timeouts remaining at the end of it? It should use another one here. But yeah, as you mentioned, with the likes of the European CS style compared to the UK CS style, that's one of the things I'm loving about this new VRS edition to Epic Land. You get these international teams coming over here and testing the UK teams. It's a different style of play, and it really forces the UK teams to adapt. It only makes them better. Yeah, we get some complaints about, oh, it's too difficult now, blah, blah, blah. You only get better. You only make it less difficult by getting better, and you only get better by playing against these tougher teams.
Agreed. Honestly, I really do agree. Especially like last Epic Land, who was the winners? They were Siberian Souls, technically gentlemates.
Yeah, gentlemates now obviously narrowly missing out on the major, partially catapulted into that contention by their victory at EPIC45. But maybe Nemesis can finally get themselves on the rank. It's been a long time coming for them, but it's just not worked. This is their opportunity. And 8sens, actually we could say the same about 8sens. They're looking to get themselves a VRS rank, get themselves some tournament invites, but it's going to be difficult for them in this one to try and accelerate that process. Yeah, Tyne already down on this B bomb site, does get 2, but Prime is able to get the bomb plant here. That's really good for 8sens' economy. But Crucial, oh, actually a missed shot, doesn't finish Prime off. There we go, Thomas steps in. Crucial's long-time teammate supporting his buddy. If you miss, I'm going to help you there to support you. And Nemesis, 10 rounds in, they're 7-3 up.
I wouldn't put it past 8sens just yet. If 8sens can at least get a 1 or 2 round, I feel like there is still a game at hand to contend for, realistically. But if it goes downhill from, it's going to be a very, very difficult challenge. Yeah,
I think 8sens need to win at least one of the next 2 rounds. I think a 9-3 half, that's when you're in a really sticky spot. 8-4, that's salvageable, especially on a map as CT-sided as Nuke. You are able to make that comeback. But 9-3, that's a different story. Then you can basically not put a foot wrong. And 8sins have sometimes struggled with a little bit of consistency in the odd round. And I think if they do want to really mount a challenge on this map, this is the round to do it, because if you lose this one, you're going to be operating with very little. Just there, immediately a lovely little entry kill. The double ramp setup has been dismantled, and Crucial forced to flee, keep himself alive, but taking heavy damage in the process. And all this a bit of a ruse. 8sins crawling their way down secret. Tadpole's scared about the cross, and actually Fraser will pick it off. No, that is the B defender dealt with. Nexius needs his head on the swivel, does eventually adjust onto Tadpole. I'm not quite sure how Tadpole didn't quite convert that kill. I think it was maybe a case of both players not really paying attention. And Crucial posted on the ramp. If he's able to get one, he can potentially deny the bomb plant, and Thomas holding the top of the vent. 8sins, they have to make a choice. You're going to go into one of these players no matter what, but actually Crucial going down. Nexius now has to be the sole ramp defender. But if you look, the bomb is still on A. The bomb is still on the upper bomb site, and Thomas is there to try and deny a bomb plant from the CT vent. Thomas does get one on the Bobo, and actually doubles up for himself as well. Puts Prime into a 1 versus 1, a situation where 8sins had a 2-man advantage, completely dismantled. Prime catching Nexius on the drop. The fake plant working wonders. Great in-game brain from Prime. And 8sins, that's the round they needed.
Do you see what I made? Do you see the point we were talking about before this game, before the game started? Prime, he is currently in his prime, especially in ESA. Even though his team could be down, that man will still be top fraggy some way or some form. This man's in-game knowledge is crazy. Let me tell you that. We're on the final round. The T side wasn't the greatest start, but the CT side, we're going to truly see 8sins do their magic work.
Yeah, and we know Prime can do it on a cold, rainy night in Kettering. MVP back at EPIC46 when 8sins finished runners-up. But he's not going to have a chance to make an impact this round. Crucial, lovely little flick to deny the outside aggression. Godspell still lurking around, but there's Nexius up close. Well, quickly deleted, but Crucial is there to provide a quick trade frag. Fraser does win the battle of the Orpers. I think it's the first time we've seen them clash head-to-head with their big greens in hand. Note pushing up as Jorstair takes down Tyne. Note needs to try and get Fraser down here, because this would be the bomb, but the no-scope from the IGL of 8sins completely turns this map on its head. Thomas, 1 versus 3, locked into Squeaky. Jorstair's got the Molotov. If he's going to bounce it off the wall, or is he going to try and wait for the smoke fade? He's going to bounce it, force Thomas's hand, and Jorstair takes your head. Nemesis, they're still ahead of the half, but 8sins have salvaged this into 5-7.
I would always say this, yeah. This is no glazing. I think 8sins are online. It took a little bit of time, but now we're going to see the true work. 8sins on CT side is a true menace. They are truly a menace on the CT side. I mean 8sins, what am I saying? Apologies, sorry. 8sins on CT side are a menace. On the side of Nemesis, I haven't seen the T side pistol for Nuke, so I'm interested in how they want to play. They got some utility, a smoke and a flash and a grenade to play with, and all pistols. It seems to be an A execution after all. But nothing too aggressive just yet. 3 players are already at a 1 in Evan and 2 on site.
Yeah, Nemesis looking to do a mirror of what 8sins did, a pop in towards this A bomb site, and the ramp stack coming out from the CTs is going to find no success. Fraser, aware of the players walking themselves onto site, needs to just try and buy time, wait for his teammates to get into this post plant. There is a kit on Fraser, and it's going to be a triple heaven retake. Nexus going to possess a quad heaven retake. Apologies, Tadpole climbing up the ladder to join his team. Prime is going to try and take first contact, adds a distraction, actually gets the kill onto Note as well as Fraser takes down Tyne. The rest of 8sins funneling their way out of heaven. Nexius forced back into the hut. He's going to be in this 1 versus 5. It would need to be the ace clutch. Able to get the first 2, able to get the third. Not quite able to get the ace. That would have been the clip of a century, but Prime is there and ready. 8sins splashes spared by their star man, and you have to say, as soon as he got that second one, I could just see it manifesting from Nexius.
Oh, look at that! Look! Oh my God!
Yeah, that was so close.
I can feel
that would have been a morale breaker for 8sins. I think if you lose that 1 versus 5 on such a crucial round like the pistol. that would have been curtains on their mental. But the fact Prime is able to salvage it for them, that spares their blushes. And Nemesis are going to force back into this one. The bomb plant facilitating that, get NEMESIS on that AK. He has probably been the star man for them so far. Him and Note leading the line. It's actually Note on 15 kills, NEMESIS on 10.
Ooh, hold on.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be ready for this secret play. 2 players here. Oh, struggling to decide which target to shoot, but Prime does adjust, and that is the invested rifle taken down straight away. So now Nemesis really facing an uphill battle, and they're going to rely heavily on Crucial here. Crucial
needs to get the information to pass it on. It seems to be they could go towards A, but they're going to pick up the rifle, of course, get the utility. The utility will have value to bring forward to.
Yeah, I believe that's a triple Molotov left for Nemesis. That's probably a good omen to take down the V site. You can molly off all the nasty little angles, but they're actually going to wrap themselves into Garage. It's going to be Godspell here to try and defend, but actually tucking his way into Heaven. This is all going to come down to a timing, and it has betrayed 8sins. Jumping their way up into Heaven. Crucial now spotted, but still able to take down Godspell. Prime, bottom of the ladder, needs to try and make something happen. Heaven Molotov to try and deny any sort of swift aggression from Nemesis, and Prime activating, can't quite convert the kill. Your position has now been noted, but you just need to try and be a menace. Buy time for your teammates. Tadpole able to get one, but only one, as Note's Deagle rings out. Fraser and Prime forced into this retake here. 2 versus 3. Note had Deagle. Has already claimed 1 scalp. He's going to be the first point of contact to try and claim another. Fraser walking his way out of Squeaky now as Prime tucks himself inside the heart. Thomas at the back of the site needs to win this gunfight and can't. But Note, sparing his team's blushes, forced into this 1 versus 1 up against Prime once again. He did it in the previous. Can he do it again? No, he cannot. 3K for Note on the Deagle. Nemesis, instant reply.
All I'm saying is, I feel like if he had the right weapon was all he needed. But of course, Note was on fire with them beautiful Deagle shots and getting himself team to get that 2-round gap again. Of course, Note, not even surprised. Top fragging for the team, 18-7. His impact on the game is very crucial.
I see what you did there. I respect it.
Don't worry, there's no more puns coming away, so don't worry.
There's no more puns? I'm disappointed in that.
What happened last time? What happened last epic with my puns? I didn't end well, did it?
No, we don't want to repeat of the little issues we had previous epic, but I mean the old pun's quite good. Let's be real. But 8sins are going to force back into this one. They need to instantly reply if they want to keep themselves in this map. It is still very tight, but it can quickly spiral out of control. Prime on the rifle.
All players are all towards ramp now.
Yeah.
If he can get the correct timing on the pistol, he gets one kill.
Gets one.
But
the lesser weapon, that's fine. But from that position, you kind of would have expected more. Prime is tucked in tight. He's going to be first point of contact. Thomas clearing the wrong angle. Crucial needs to try and clear this. Has the support of Tyne, and they do eventually clear out the rifle. It's just the lesser weapons remaining towards this A side of the map. NEMESIS walking his way through the hut. There is currently a smoke denying vision. Just there, right on the other side of the wall as well. NEMESIS, this is going to come down to timing, and it is going to be in his favor. Tadpole taken down. Jorster beginning his lobby wrap, but NEMESIS is ready for this. Fraser has recovered an AK. I imagine that will be immediately saved, and with that kill, yeah, you cannot see any way into this for Fraser.
No way, no chance. I wouldn't. There's still opportunity for 8sins to get the rounds, to keep going, but we don't really see it. We don't really see it. If NEMESIS does get to double digits, into the 10 digits, this is going to be do or die. Do or die at this point, because your economy is destroyed. It's not working in your favor. The saved AK is going to have more significant value for the next upcoming round. Nice trigger discipline. Now he needs to run and save his life with this AK.
Yeah, he will be able to get away, so that AK will be carried over into the next. Something to work with for 8sins in the hands of their captain. But NEMESIS extending their lead, building their bank balance. And we will be... It's going to be really interesting to see what 8sins do here. Do you just? I'm assuming you're going to have to eco around the rifle.
100%.
But how are you going to utilize Fraser?
Cool. If I was them, give Prime the AK. In my opinion, I'll explain to you why. Prime can go for that late lurk, not play too aggressive, maybe work his way up to ramp, and of course a tactical timer from NEMESIS. Interesting.
Yeah, I think this potentially benefits 8sins. It gives them a chance to really think through what they're going to do. I do disagree with you on the point about the Prime, because Fraser is the one with armor. Prime would have to invest heavily into that armor, and honestly, glass canning an AK is really not what you want to do, because obviously the...
And 2 smokes as well. Remember that. Keep that in mind.
Two smokes. Like, 3 smokes on the body for 8sins. But yeah, like the aim punch when you have no armor, it's so brutal. So Fraser rightly keeping hold of the rifle. Prime, he can get work done with a deagle, though. I believe in the Prime 1-deags.
I feel like this is going to be very, very much pressure on Fraser. We've seen the type of plays he loves to play, and I don't doubt him at all. There's no pressure on him, but I think this is a do or die. The economy is on the line. It's already destroyed. You may as well destroy the Nemesis economy while you're already at it. But I'm interested, what did the coach say talking about it? And while the A execution is going to happen, Fraser is on the heaven.
Yeah, sole defender of this A site needs to get at least one and escape, which he is able to do. Note picking off Dobbo as he goes through the smoke, and Prime going down is Note with yet another triple kill. This man is having an absolute field day right now, 21 and 8. 8sins are just facilitating him to get these kills by just not clearing their angles properly, and the individual brilliance of him is being a nightmare for the UK roster to deal with. Fraser, is he going to be allowed to save the AK? They know it's in play. Nemesis will desperately want to take it away.
100%. If I was Thomas, let me take this AK. He knows that this AK will be detrimental. And Nexus holding the angle. And of course, if Fraser falls down, this is going to be a big challenge for 8sins now. They have the economy now. It really is now on them to really perform now. They really need to protect the sides. I thought the CT side would be in their favor, but it seems they are struggling against a team like Team Nemesis. I think the playstyle is not the ordinary playstyle you were really expecting UKCS.
Yeah, which is, as we say, is a new additional feature of Epic Land with these international teams coming over. It really does test the UK teams and really test their ability to adapt to a new kind of style. UKCS has been so isolated for quite a while that I think this can only benefit the scene. But 8sins on top, they'll need to adapt if they want to remain the UK's reigning champions and, you know, really bring UKCS forward into a new age. But right now, this map is all Nemesis.
8sins not letting Nemesis have the control. Hold on, wait a minute.
Fraser caught out, does take a dink through the wall for his efforts, but he is going to be allowed to escape. Nexius retreating into the garage just to try and stay alive, be a little bit of a nuisance, and Fraser, the repick, not serving him well. That's another opening frag going the way of Nemesis. And this is really going to test 8sins' ability to adapt. Godspell does get one back, but that's crucial, being taken out of the round and make it a double as well. Nexius, that little nuisance in garage has been dealt with.
Thomas on the AVP. And Prime.
Yeah, Spam not finding its mark there from Prime. Note is going to go hunting, trying and find this rifler. And actually he's going to take down Jaws there, and Prime falls with him. Tadpole does get one back, but Nemesis in a 2-man advantage. They have the map to play with, and they're just going to go simple. They're just going to go straight into this A-bomb site.
Hold on. Tadpole could go for a wraparound.
Tadpole could go for a wraparound, but yeah, he is going to try and do that. It's reposition. Nemesis might not be ready for it. They may think he's rotating through main, and yeah, we do see Tyne head on a swivel. Does clear the angle, but Tadpole wins out the fight. It's low HP on Thomas. AWP versus rifle. Missed shots of Plenty, and Thomas will clutch this one out for Nemesis. 11-6. And 8sins, this is desperate times now. Your economy not in a strong place whatsoever. This is going to have to be a... No, that's a force from Prime. Are 8sins going to force this?
Don't blame them.
I can't blame them at all, to be honest, actually, thinking about it, because if you eco this one, you're going to have to do the reverse sweep. You're going to have to get 6 in a row. You need to try and establish a foothold now before Nemesis gets to that crucial map point, because once they do, there is no room for slip-ups. I
think final tactical time called. I feel like everything's not going well on the CT side. Nemesis are getting control of the map, and that's why 8sins really do struggle. They can't even push back them. Nemesis overwhelmed them, especially on how that, you see that lurk, that late lurk went underneath, and it caught him off guard. Honestly, I feel bad for them. I really do. But at the end of the day, this is what it takes to be part of Epic Clan. Even in Kettering, we see Team Nemesis are online. We can see why it's been the big talk within Epic Clan.
Yeah, Nemesis desperate to get themselves back on that VRS rank. They are grinding the local land scene. This new roster really trying to put itself to the sword, provide a true test and establish themselves in the tier 2 scene. For Asins, this is a must-win round for them.
Indeed.
And a must-win round just involving a Deagle, 2 FAMASs, and an MP9. Nemesis have everything they could want at their disposal. Crucial on the AWP, AKs all around, and util aplenty. And they're just going to try and whittle down the CT util.
They need to be careful with it though. Don't waste it all on holding. You need to get prepared for a retake as well, which is something that Asins do struggle on. And very poor information. They are kind of a little bit in the dust of what is going on or where Nemesis are going to play, but it seems they are going to go towards outside, towards Secret. And Godspell, he's not aware of what's going on. And Crucial with the AVP and Nexius. This is so deadly. He's going behind.
Yeah, it's the AWP, but a lovely little adjustment. Crucial. That was a must-get kill there for Godspell, and it has gone the wrong way. Nemesis establishing themselves a foothold in this round, and with the heavy weapon gone, this is desperate times for 8sins. I hate to say it. This might need to be a save, because the B bomb site is completely compromised. There is no one here to try and deny this. You have very little chance of even attempting a retake. But you're going to have to try and commit here to the full 6-round sweep. Prime, he needs to get this kill if they want to make this happen. Okay, that might go to 8sins back in. 4 versus 4. There's no kit in play, though.
It's now needs to play it fast. It's no longer slow play. No, he's going to hold the door.
Yeah, the tap going down. Jostead does pick up a kill onto No, but Thomas quickly replies, and this retake is crumbling apart here. It's all on Jostead, AWP in hand, not his weapon of choice. The bomb is ticking away and time is sneaking up on you. Easy kill, back turn, Nemesis onto map point.
Some parts of me wants to have hope, you know. Some parts of me wants to have this hope. But we also got to be honest with ourselves. Their economy is not in their favor. Their weapon choices are terrible. I'm not saying it's a bad choice. It's what they can afford. Team Nemesis, they're running with it. They ran away with their economy. Their economy is working in their favor. But now, since the recent bench of Fripp and Beef, I'm calling Beef, I think that's what Nemesis were the greatest choices they ever made. And we can clearly see what the coach was cooking.
Yeah, it was a bit of a gamble picking up Nexius after an extended spell on the bench, but it has proved wonders thus far. Thomas with a double opening in this one, and 8sins, your map pick is slipping away from you ever so quickly. We are back into a 3v3 off the back of that FAMAS kill, but with the site given over. Actually, that double on the FAMAS now, that swings the numbers back in favor of 8sins. There is still room for them to work in this one. Godspell holding the flank and Crucial peeks directly into him. It's all going to be on note. The bomb is dropped inside of lobby. He is going to have to find a quick exit because he is being watched from heaven.
This is now a really sticky situation. Note, he's aware that someone's there. He got the peek.
Yeah, Fraser's being loud about this, but Prime peeking out. Note is actually ready for it. He knew Fraser was dropping on towards the top of the heart, but he just can't quite adjust in time. Fraser will get the decisive kill in that one, and 8sins will be staying alive around where they conceded the opening, but the comeback from them was so strong thanks to that double FAMAS spray down by Godspell.
5 rounds is required. This is going to be a very big challenge for 8sins. They cannot afford to make mistakes. They can't all of a sudden be like, okay, cool, we can chuck that. Everything needs to be perfect. We need the CT players to come to life, especially Joster and Godspell. We need them to come to life. This is where they are needed, and unfortunately, we didn't see them throughout majority of the game.
Yeah, obviously Joster taking a step back from CS following the UKIC final to focus on other ventures. But for the most part, he's been very consistent throughout this tournament, but when the step up of opponents like this, like it is in this playoff match against Nemesis, you feel like maybe the lack of practice is getting to him, and he's not quite the Joster that we used to see in the UK scene. Prime will actually pick up the kill onto Note to equalize the numbers in this one, following Fraser's early death. Nexius inside the back of the garage. Prime is very much aware of this, head on a swivel. His brain is in the server. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what Nemesis are doing, and Tadpole picking off Tyne as well just makes the T-side job all that much harder. Thomas and Crucial, the XM Point duo, the major quarter-finalists here, find themselves in a 2 versus 4, but it could quickly disintegrate to a 1 versus 4. Thomas going down, bomb being dropped, and Crucial, I don't want to say unwinnable, because if he keeps getting kills like that and gets presented opportunities by 8sins, this could very much be winnable for him. Especially if Prime's going to extend solo. Just there to spare 8sins blushes, though. They're continuing to mount this comeback. They do not want to go down just yet. They know what is at stake. They need to win Nuke to stand a chance in this series.
I think we've seen how they lost it on Mirage against TLR. A 13-9. I would say this is more close-ish just for now, because all it requires is 4 rounds, and Team Nemesis are going to go for half by getting utility that is required now. 8sins needs to be able to punish this now. All the cards are within their favor now. Economy got the weapons that they need.
Yeah, if Nemesis go down in this one with very little, then we're looking at 8sins moving on to double digits potentially as well. So the UK side not out of this one yet, not by a long shot. Prime on a smoke break, doesn't spot anyone. Thomas looking like he wants to try and sneak his way into Mini. Prime is going to do exactly the same. Head spotted, and Thomas is taken out of the round straight away. Little do they know, though, that Nexius has wormed his way inside the garage. Godspell needs to be aware, but instead chooses to fall away towards ramp. Just there, trying to provide some cover inside of main, but note that lovely little 1-dig, providing a distraction, though, as Fraser from CT Spawn gets a double on the AWP. Tag onto Crucial as well. Godspell swinging out to confirm the kill. And Tyne.
The bomb's up top there.
Yeah, the bomb's outside. Tyne on the other side of the map. Fraser is posted on your position. There is no way through for this, so 8sins will almost certainly be moving on to 9 rounds unless we see a miracle. It's not going to be. Fraser with the triple kill in the round to keep 8sins alive ever still. And with Nemesis' economy in shambles right now, we are very much looking at the potential for 8sins double digits.
If we get to OT, I'm saying this to you, this has to be a strong comeback. This has to be out of the books. There was 2. We could potentially see the second OT of today. You know, I'm actually excited. If I won't even lie to you. Nemesis.
Still 3 rounds to go. Yeah, I wouldn't get ahead of ourselves. We can't keep mentioning that two-letter phrase, because otherwise we'll just jinx it and ruin the fun for everyone.
Oh no, not this caster curse. I'm not going through it again.
Oh, every time I cast 8sins, it's always a curse, so I don't want to jump in ahead of it. But this round, looking very comfortable for them thus far. Fraser and Jorstead with the opening kills, and these pistols locked inside the lobby. No way through. Crucial down on low HP. Yeah, this is probably almost certain to be an 8sins round, especially walking straight into Godspell at ramp. And with the Note Deagle deleted, the main scary point on this Nemesis pistol round, their little hope of a eco round victory is gone. But this is where Nemesis need to win. The rifles will be coming back out for the T side. This is going to be 8sins' true test as Nemesis call their final time out of regulation.
If I was them, honestly, I'll be scared, because you are that close. You were 6 away. You kept the 6-round gap, but now they are closing it. Team Nemesis are struggling. No, I wouldn't say struggling to the point. You're having your players play the best of the best. Look at No, 26 and 14. Look at Prime, 2016, Fraser, 17-16. Everyone's having their impact in some form, some way. But Nemesis are struggling. Nexus can't go for the same blocks. I think 8sins are already aware on what type of Counter-Strike they would like to play. But of course, attack pools will be called. Nothing surprising. But I'll just say...
yeah, unfortunately today it has been a bit cursed in terms of tech problems. So
we thought
we'd avoided them. We thought we'd avoided them at this point, but... unfortunately, not to be. There is going to be a little bit of an issue. We hope to get back to the game as soon as possible. Not quite sure how long it's going to be as of yet, but we hope. Honestly, this comeback from 8sins, it seems to be manifesting.
It is.
This next round is going to be so important for the remainder of the series, because if 8sins are able to get this one over the line, Nemesis will have essentially zero money to work with. They are in prime position to take this to overtime, and we could be looking at a really exciting potential, but I still don't want to get ahead of itself. I still don't know. I still think Nemesis are more likely to get this one over the line in regulation.
I would say, okay.
But it's a very real possibility 8sins get this back. So
particularly seen on how they like to play, particularly, like especially, Nemesis love to play outside or ramp, or the A execution. B has, if you notice right, they haven't gone B that much. Why they haven't gone B? Sometimes B thought they might send a late lurk to secret, but they don't like B. It seems like B is no good. Their A execution, their A side is their comfortable side, if you've noticed.
Yeah, Nemesis. We were a little bit critical of sometimes of 8sins' T side being a bit flat, but we can levy the exact same criticism against Nemesis. Since they had that little streak of rounds where 8sins looked like were struggling to get back into it, but ever since they got to match point, Nemesis have looked like they've fallen off a cliff. Maybe overconfidence has come into play a factor. Maybe they think, oh, it's just some UK boys, we can get this over the line, but you can't afford to take your foot off the gas in a tournament like this, because there is a lot at stake for both teams.
I think it's mostly out, in my personal opinion, we've seen this downfall happen in Tier 1. We've seen that happen, and it's horrible. Like, if you remember IEM Melbourne, the same stories that's played that right in front of us. They push OT, and somehow whoever wins, they push it to triple OT, which I hope that we don't get that far. I hope.
I mean, if the CS is going to be as good as it
is,
it's good right now, I am more than happy for a triple OT.
I'm down. I'm so down. I'm so down. Just, we got a best of 3. Sometimes save the best for the last. Save the best for the last. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Finish climax at the finale of map 3.
Don't burn yourself out of first map. Do you see what I'm getting? I'm thinking the best of us and them.
Yeah. That makes good sense, but. Yeah, I mean, come on. As long as the CS is exciting, I'm going to be awake for this, because this is. I was a bit sleepy. Exciting. I didn't sleep too great last night, but watching this, I am wide awake.
I'll be honest, this is the most I've been interactive all day. I've been sitting down casting. I miss my casting. You don't understand. I miss my casting. I haven't done my casting all day. I was missing. I'm like, bro. I was like, playing CS all day. I can't even play. What I was doing? Surfing all day and KZing. And B-hopping.
Just getting a little bit of practice in. Grind your way up a little bit, get some practice in. But yeah, we are still waiting for a tech issue to resolve itself. We believe it was a disconnect for a player. So we're hoping that we can get it resolved soon, because honestly, I really want this series to keep going. I want to get back into this. I am missing this game because it was just beginning to climax.
I just hope that is Nemesis, or I hope it's not 8sins. The reason why I say I hope it's not 8sins, because the momentum. Momentum is like in the moment. Sometimes momentum could go downhill, everything goes downhill.
That is a very good point you have to mention. All the momentum going into this tech pause was with 8sins. Is this going to put a dampener on that? Is this tech pause going to benefit Nemesis in an ultimate turn of events? A tech issue deciding a series. It's not the first time we've had it already, unfortunately, today.
Not the second, not the third. I could say it more than 5 times. I don't even know what to say. Sometimes in life, I accept my fate. I know. CS and my fate, we've accepted it. Tech pauses is what's going to happen all day, every day, 24/7, 365 days a year. At least it's not PGO.
Those are the words of Jaffracast, ladies and gentlemen.
That is not mine.
They are not the words of Effetland or any of its employees.
That is my own word.
But anyway, we're getting reports. We are about to go back into the game, I believe. So, not too long now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with us on our little ramble through this little tech pause. Just catch a little bit of fill. While we're here, I want to give a big thank you over to our sponsors over at a title sponsor, Intel, Asus ROG, the sponsor of this CS tournament, and also XP Pro Eyewear and Overclockers UK for their continued support of Epic LAN. And we are going live once again. Nemesis. Fully purchasing in, full commitment, AKs across the board, a little light on utility, saving a little bit in the bank you feel just in case an 8sins get this round over the line. Give them something to work with into the next, and it's going to be a quick change of pace, tying it immediately in towards the vent, able to get one. Fraser and Prime though with quick responses, and this fast play from Nemesis has fallen to pieces. Barely 10 seconds into the round, it is crucial in a 1 versus 4. Has to be loud about his positioning, dropping in, needs to isolate the fights, but Aces are going to be ready. Fraser trying to act as distraction, but Prime will be the one to claim the head. This map has gone the full distance of regulation. Are we on the verge of overtime, or can Nemesis scramble something together in this final round?
Everything has gone so well for Nemesis. They had a 9-3 lead. They were pushed, they were on match point. What has led to us is the power and the hunger of 8 Sins. They do not want to let Nemesis take this map pick away. Nemesis, this is now do or die, or do or die now. They need to prevent this rush going on now, and they need to pull something of different. Prime and Godspell are gonna push towards the A lobby, a very dangerous play, and tying in lobby.
Yeah, look, staying in the back lobby, doesn't want to give away a frag for free. Tadpole begins to clear out Squeaky. Smoked in Nighttime's vision. 8 Sins getting a lot of information here, but that is left outside very vulnerable. Fraser dropping down the vent to try and hold the secret halls with the big green. It'll be Note first point of contact, and you would not put it past Note to hit this insanely tight shot. Fraser misses, takes a dink in the process, but is still able to escape into Decon all this time. Nemesis re-diverting themselves back towards Heaven. Fraser will eventually finish off Note, but no more response from Nemesis in towards Secret. Tadpole has to be fully aware, and it does adjust to take down Nexius. 8 Sins looking like they're going to make this happen. Crucial Tyne and Thomas, 3 versus 5 to end this in regulation, or we go OT. And look at the positions of Nemesis. They are so spread out. They have to win individual gunfights, and it is not happening for them. Nope. Fraser's AWP best in crucial. Prime clearing out lobby in its entirety. They need to wait for the clear at the back, and Tadpole is ready for Thomas inside of Heaven, aware of this possibility. Tyne needs to activate. Thomas on the jump spot does see Tadpole and actually gets himself a double. Prime will clear out the back lobby player, and Thomas is going to have to get the ace for the clutch to end this right here, right now.
A 1v3. This is like do or die now. Thomas, the IJO, needs to step up, and now this is where the moments it really matters the most. He has nothing to play for. The bomb is already there, and Godspell lands a final kill, which pushes 8 Sins to the first OT. What did I say?
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. You called it. OT was always on the cards. I just didn't want to jinx it, but yes, 8 Sins have sent us into OT. All the momentum is with them, and it has to be. This is their map pick. They need this one. Mirage up next. I don't want to say that's a lost cause, but they need Nuke more than they need anything else right now.
Agreed. Honestly, I truly, really agree with you. Nuke needs to be in the favorite, and 8 Sins need this. We've seen their struggles on Mirage, especially against TLR now. But how was it like to play the CT side now? With less pressure to worry about match point now. Now Prime already on the outside, Jago peeking it. See if he can catch anyone off guard, but no one's gonna give anything to Prime just yet. Reveals himself.
Yeah, the flash forward trying to facilitate a kill for Prime, but Nexius deep enough that he was able to dodge it and escape with his life. Godspell able to get the first while blind on the ramp. Nemesis looking like they're going to try and crawl, thinking Godspell's going to drop down and he will actually lose his life as a result, but Fraser and Prime, the deadly duo inside of Hell, able to collect 2 kills. 2-man advantage now for 8 Sins, and the T's are spread out. The bomb is on ramp with Thomas. Nexius going down. Thomas is once again going to be forced into an almost impossible clutch situation. Nemesis, their T sides have really diminished. Attempts at the plant, swing out from the decon, and Jaws there will finish him off. 8 Sins taking the lead. And then you feel the momentum's with them. You feel like they're going to will it into existence.
I'll be honest with you. What my point was earlier, Tadpole, Joelster, and Godspell, they're all coming. They haven't, like I mentioned before, the kills ain't there. But somehow they maneuver their way into sites. They maneuver their way into sites, positions where Nemesis are caught off guard. I think that's where the struggle is. Especially on the coach, Rick. This is where his specialty really comes in as a mental performance coach. And he's more likely to understand this. I think like, if he did call a timeout, honestly, I wouldn't blame them. But the timeout won't be called Nexus. He's going to play a little bit more aggressive, trying to get more space. While Fraser with the AVP reveals informations. And Nexius goes for the above.
Yeah, great play from Nexius, hunting down Fraser. His position was noted and his life was almost on a timer from the moment he got that kill onto Note. And you have to say, with the uptick in form we see from some of these 8-Sins players, the downfall of players like Note, who have slowed down massively, has been a hindrance for Nemesis. But now it seems like the rest of the team is beginning to step up. Nexius with a 3K in this one has forced Tadpole into a 1 versus 4, quickly deleted by Crucial. So Nemesis finally putting an end to 8-Sins' streak of rounds. Is this their way back into it? Because if they get the next one on the T side of this first OT, they are in a great position going into the second half. You feel this is a must-win round for 8-Sins?
Yes and no. Yes and no. This is not a best of one, so if they do push for second OT, wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't say it's a do or die moment for them. We haven't seen the greatest of the CT sides just yet. Maybe the T side maybe will play something a little bit more different, but it would be nice for them to win this CT side.
Well, yeah, on CT side of the map like Nuke, it would put them in a great position. But the barrage of utility in towards this A site is putting the defenders on under a lot of pressure. Tadpole and Just, they're able to get one, and the trades are even 2 versus 2. Nexius and Crucial up against Fraser and Godspell. The double AWP being brought out from 8-Sins. One of them has made itself aware. And Fraser opting for the deagle. Unfortunately, he is going to lose his life to the hands of Crucial. Godspell, AWP rings out from heaven. Nexius spotted out, and the AK besting out the 5-7. Nemesis take a lead going into the second half of OT.
Let's take a moment to breathe.
Take a moment to breathe?
Take a moment to breathe. You know why? I'll explain to you why. It's been hectic, chaotic. This CS has drove me crazy. It's the most excited I've not been for weeks, months. I was in my bedroom shivering. I said, when I'm going to call CS again in this epic land? I miss Kettering. I miss the food. I miss the environment.
It's such a great atmosphere here. I do love a good epic land. I've been coming here. This is my third one. And this is one of the most exciting games I think I've had the opportunity to cast at an epic land. 8-Sins really trying to establish UK CS on the map. The org has been very committed to the UK scene, and they have a team capable of winning championships. But I think Nemesis, the test from overseas, is going to be maybe one step too far with this advantage. But I'd love to be proven wrong. I would love 8-Sins to send this into an OT2. But a very slow T-side being called here from 8-Sins. Outside pressure, a fixture we've seen from them many a time. Accelerating now at the point of contact. Crucial does get a little tag onto Tadpole, but they are walking straight into No, only able to get one. He's been so strong in these holds, but only able to get one on this occasion. Tyne, though, in the perfect position. Prime swept out, and it's just going to be this decon play. But actually, they're doubling back. They're going to try and pop out of the vent, it looks like. Nexius is closing in on them, trying to get a timing, and will, in fact, drop Godspell. That is the bomb dropped. Fraser seen going up the vent. Just there, and Fraser. The two have been playing together for so long. Forced into a 2 versus 4 clutch.
One player's already in heaven. He's not going to reveal himself just yet. This is going to be a really, really difficult. If they pull this off, my hats are off. I'm shaving my hair.
I apologise, it's Tadpole, not Fraser. But anyway, you get the same. You get the same gist. Yes. Tadpole has been around playing with these 8-Sins players for a long time. Just there. Going to be the first point of contact. That's going to be Tadpole taking down Thomas. There's a good foothold for 8-Sins. Just there chiming in as well. And Crucial, the heaven play has not worked out at all for Nemesis. And just there, Nexius charging him down, but 8-Sins will not die yet. 14-14. We are tied up once again.
This 8-Sins is the most deadliest 8-Sins I have not seen. This is the first time I've seen them actually producing the firepower that is expected of them. From a 6-12 to a 14-14, what a first map. And you can see the desperateness and the hungerness within this squad. It's actually in both squads. In A execution, they're going to set some A utility off. Going to try to set some emergency bells off with Team Nemesis. They're going to try to get more into the fight. Oh, and he misses. The reload wasn't just there. The 3v3 now. Tien, information's already revealed, and the Miss Molly.
Oh, Miss Molotov, but Tadpole is still here waiting. Does have one of his own to try and deny Tien any sort of aggression. Crucial locked out right now. Fraser's actually going to drop down. Doesn't have the bomb on his back. But now the bomb has made its way down on the back of... wait, no, where is it? Where is the bomb drop?
No idea. Hold on.
Bomb is on Jaws there. Bomb has gone down on this B bomb site. It's going to be a full ramp retake coming out here from Nemesis. Fraser tucked in close to the control room. Just there in decon. Crucial. Posted on the angle, but he has so many to worry about. Utility is there for Nemesis, and Tyne does get the opening. Just there, makes his position known. Crucial is going to be zoned in on your position, and it's going to be the low HP Tadpole tasked with defending the site from Double. Does get spammed through the smoke onto Nexius. And 2 versus 2 now. Tyne has to get on this bomb. He can't quite find it. He does eventually get on, but Jorstair is there with the spam, and Asins will be moving on to map point. 15-14 here on OT1. Are they able to close it out, or will we be going again?
Well, well, well.
Yeah, you're going to laugh at me for being wrong, aren't you?
Yeah, you know what? I actually am.
I deserve it. It's fine.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And the tap timer will be called by Nemesis. I think this is where Coach Rick really comes into play.
Well, it's actually a tap timer called by 8 since
Oh.
we do have to say. So
Oh
maybe just making sure they can get this over a line. Is this a double AWP T-side?
That's going to be the biggest mistake, and it will punish. Actually, please don't tell me you sold it.
No, he's dropped on the floor. He has bought himself up an AK. I think that's probably the wise move from 8 since. A double AWP would be a very risky investment. Like looking at the buy coming in from Nemesis, Crucial relegated to a scout. The AWP's little baby brother.
Do you like the scout?
I'm not a sniper, so it's not really my sort of thing. But I'm a player like Crucial, he can definitely get the most out of it. He's had a bit of a rough game by his standards, 16 and 20 right now, not been the star player we expect him to be.
Fraser and Prime in their prime right now. They're having their impacts. They're causing the damage that is needed. And Tadpole already working his way on top of Silo. Doesn't see Nexus right next to the red container just yet.
Yeah, but in this time, Thomas will have to call from the grave, losing his life very early. Crucial retreating to try and get an angle onto the Silo player, but Fraser beginning his crawl out to red as Prime makes his way down secret. 8 Cents have all the control they could want. One outside, they have down secret, they have lobby control. Nemesis is kind of scrambling right now. They are going for this outside retake. 3 players, eyes trained on the position. Just their task with holding any lobby aggression, but Nemesis really doubting themselves right now.
It really is scary to see this Nemesis, where they were performing, the way they play the CT sides now. Now we're seeing the horror is going to haunt them back now on how they lost the first map. And hopefully it doesn't destroy the morale unless they can put a miracle comeback with this scout. Tane does get the first kill onto Tadpole.
They're burning alive, down to 1 HP. Is able to escape with his life and will be taken down by Jaws there, but No is there with the trade frag. Crucial posted on position, needs this kill, but Fraser bests him with the assist from Godspell as well. No to Nexius. Double N. Now it's just going to be Nexius, the XOG man, brought in by Thomas to help improve this roster. He's got 2 in this 1 versus 3. It's Prime though on the wrap. Nexius hyper fixated on Decon, unaware that the fury is coming through Double. Nexius has to make the play. All the initiative is with him, and Prime will pounce. 8 Sins from looking like they were down and out, coming back, and in OT will be stealing away their map pick. It looked like it was Nemesis dead to rights, but 8 Sins emerge victorious, and that is an absolute must have had. They absolutely needed that one.
That was an 8, is what I love to call an 8 Sins masterpiece, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever doubted UKCS, you're wrong. Thomas Rowe, GG to them on the first map. Team Nemesis could have closed this map a long time ago. Unfortunately, there was a lot of mistakes were made on the T side. Their CT side campaign was very confident, and I agree with everything. They played it correctly, but the T side, I think that's where everything went wrong. Maybe the calling wasn't. Maybe the calling was off. Maybe someone wasn't in it because 12. They thought, cool, we can relax, we can close it off. But now once they start to realize, oh sugar, wait, they're getting 9, they're getting 10. Your economy is already destroyed at round what? 10? Around 10, 11. You know you're cooked.
Yeah, I mean, down 6 to 12. We have to praise the resilience of 8 Sins being able to fight back through that And even when it looked impossible, they were able to claw it out. Even in OT, when they went down two rounds on their they lost 2 rounds on the first half when they were on CT. I thought they were dead to rights. I thought Nemesis would come back. I have never been more happy to be proven wrong, because we have got a truly competitive series here. Mirage is going to be coming up next. The pick of Nemesis. The momentum is with 8sins, but it's a map that they have not been particularly comfortable on. So this is going to be, I think we could be going for a 3-mapper here.
This is something very scary, especially in ESC. I forgot to also make a mention as well. I remember I cast one of the games as well for ESC main. Unfortunately, they did lose to Mirage twice. So this is going to be a little bit of a roll in the park. Maybe they're pulling something that we have not seen, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, break time?
Yeah, we're going to cut to a little break, get a breather, go spend some time, grab yourself a drink, but do stick around, because map 2 of Mirage will be coming up very shortly. We'll see you then.
Ciao.
No, I said ciao because we're not going yet.
I said ciao.
Yeah, it's bye.
You right. We vibing like kick it rendezvous. Make some time for me and you. Get together, you and I. We vibing like feeling kinda tipsy, didn't drink, so I don't get it. I must be high, but I'm just guessing. It's something in the way you talk. I'll show my hand, let's play it out. Putting my heart up on the table. I really trust my senses. Catch me if I fall. So done with second guessing. You seem to have it all. In love enough for anything, emotional too soon. You got my invitation, now the rest is up to you. Kick it rendezvous, make some time for me and you. Get you over, treat you right. We vibing like kick it rendezvous, make some time for me and you. Get together, you and I. We vibing like it's getting kinda personal. I know my inhibitions, I just let them go. Stole my heart just like a criminal. I think it's time you let me know if you wanna kick it rendezvous. Make some time for me and you. Get you over, treat you right. We vibing like kick it rendezvous. Make some time for me and you. Get together, you and I. We vibing like
Finally get paid for the get down. You can't tell me now about time. Do you know how many lines I done pent down? Vibes I done sent out. But we ain't here to dig. I'll up the market till they come red carpet the kids. Success still the target. Soon I'll be crossing that bridge. But can't bring everybody with me, family only. I got some people think I owe a favor, barely know me. That's why my focus on the road, it's all I know. I see them sticking close to play the wall and watch my growth. Cause I got something they never had. So get on the beat and I need a helipad. I float on fly, you know where I'm from, so it comes as no surprise. I just out with a mean vernacular, dream spectacular. I keep a queen and passenger, FL capital Y. Anywhere I am, jam, that's for sure. Turn me on, better set the mood from the door. That's just how it go. Glad I've been keeping it playing so long. Out here in this world, I feel it ain't a place that I could roam. But ain't nothing like you and I'm there. That's why I came out stepping. I can't be doing things regular for you. I want the magic to last. I know how time try and ruin things. It get repetitive, got you tempted to doing things. I can't get reckless without you, wouldn't be no music thing. Plus, remember, we made promises way back then, and I still owe that 5-bed house with 2-3 kids. We got a fairy tale plan that's gonna change up the order they sort the mail in. Plus, I know loyalty not as valued as what it was. We not influenced by what they do, cause it's only us. I still hear poetry when I'm looking into them eyes. I still get lost in the thought of you with so much to find. And yeah, you know you fine, but still I must remind that we can live this forever and feel this forever and ever and ever. And still that wouldn't leave me enough for time to tell you all the ways I feel. Why would I throw that away for thrills? Trying to play the field.
Glad I've been keeping it playing so long. I hid in this world, I feel it in a place that I could roam. But ain't nothing like you when I'm at home. It ain't nothing like you when I'm at home.
I never felt the way I do about anyone but you. If I were to lose you now, I don't know what I might do. You're in all of my dreams, whether I'm awake or I'm asleep. My love ain't going anywhere, babe. I'm in this way too deep. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to EPIC46 with Insta, sponsored by Asus ROG. What a first map we had on Nuke. 8 Sins, Nemesis, one match point, but somehow 8 Sins pushed for OT and still the map away from Nemesis, which was a map pick of 8 Sins, but somehow 8 Sins pulled out the rabbit out of the hat. My name is Jaffa. I'm joined by the one and only Wing. We all know you are, don't we?
Yeah, they've just sat through a map of us. They should know who we are at this point, but yeah, we're here for the Counter-Strike. As you mentioned, that game on Nuke was absolute perfection. 6 rounds down, up against match point. 8 Sins clawing it back, even down at the half in OT1, still able to take it in that single OT. And they did need that map, because up next is Mirage, and this is a map that the previous iteration of Nemesis, this was their bread and butter. So strong performances from them. You can see why they picked it. They've beaten strong teams such as BetClick on this map before. But it'd be interesting to see how this new iteration does with the additions of Nexius and of Note. So 8 Sins are in for a test.
Indeed, they are here for a test, because recently I've casted the game, so I've kind of got a good base of knowledge to really go off. Mirage has been the biggest struggle, especially on the T side. When especially like players like Prime and the IGL Fraser, who's the all-put as well. I feel that's where they really struggle, because they've lost 3 times in a row. Especially they lost today, so we're gonna include that. Mirage has not been the pick. I'm not sure why it's been picked, but of course Nemesis picked it, so I do not blame them. But we're gonna get straight into the first pistol round. Nemesis on the T side and CT side will be 8 Sins.
Yeah, immediately popping their way in towards this A site. They've got their openings and have established a man advantage courtesy of that Note kill in towards CT. Fraser pushing up ramp and Prime close towards CT with the dual Berettas, able to catch Crucial back turned. Nemesis locked out, and with Note going down, the Julies are providing the kills. Fraser needs to get on this bomb. Prime going down. Fraser just choose to tap, waiting for an extension out of Nexius, but this is great discipline out of the former OG man. Swinging in now, Fraser needs this kill very quickly, and he will get it. The fuse has time to come in, and 8 Sins, if they want to be competitive on this map, they need to start hot, and that is the perfect way to do it. They take the pistol.
Like the point I was making, the CT side is the bread and butter. Fraser knows exactly how he wants to play. And even the old iteration of 8 Sins, Mirage wasn't their always strongest pick. And I feel like Nemesis did pick it on purpose to punish it. But it's a little bit too early. Team Nemesis will go for the force buy, try to get themselves into it, because they know they lost the first map. Second map will determine where will they go, lower bracket or keep themselves in the upper bracket for now.
Yeah, we've seen international teams come to Epic Land before, be forced down into the lower bracket and really just fail to make significant progress. Nemesis do not want to join that club, but Thomas going down very early provides 8 Sins another opening. That was just one of the Mac 10s. The 2 rifles are still going to be up, and they actually pop their way in towards this A site. The spam from Godspell will take down Nexius. Nemesis looking to take CT away from 8 Sins. Tyne has positioned himself very aggressively, has crucial force support as that bomb goes down in towards triple. Tadpole peeking out the support of Prime. They get 1, but Crucial there with a double to equalize the numbers. And 8 Sins, clear HP disadvantage right now. They need these kills to come in quick and clean, but Crucial triples up for himself. Jorster now forced into this clutch situation, and Note is just lying in wait. Instant response from Nemesis, and you feel 8 Sins, that pistol round win has just gone to waste.
Well, I wouldn't call it just a waste for now. Prime's gonna get himself a deagle, 2 double deagles. They're not gonna play too aggressive now. They did get early control, which was really nice. Get the control, but unfortunately, Nemesis did punish them, getting an early A site control and not allowing the retake. They're gonna smoke window. Fair enough. 2 players will go palace and 3 will go ramp. Actually, apologies. I mean 2 will go ramp and 1 will go from middle towards the late lurk. But I think they're already aware of what they're going to do. And Tadpole, he's going to play sneaky peeky with the MP9. He's going to wait in the smoke to see if he can get any reaction yet. The flash was not enough.
Oh, no head armor costing him there. Crucial, just ready for it. He is coming to this map swinging 4-on-1 right now. That triple in the previous, instrumental in Nemesis completing that 3 versus 5. And 8 Sins, they're going to be forced into a gamble here. They are going towards B. Nemesis will be executing onto A. Honestly, if you're 8-Sins, I think you just try and carry these pistols over into the next, give yourself something to work with, because this round is just not going to be going your way. Bomb will go down, and it's just a matter of time before Nemesis will be taking the lead here on Mirage.
They could play for exit kills if they want to, but not much value. You might as well save your shields for the upcoming round.
Yeah, Fraser going down. That's one less upgraded pistol into the next. Godspell, that has actually netted himself a rifle. It is just a Galil, not quite the AK that would be oh so coveted in this position, but an upgraded weapon is an upgraded weapon. I don't think 8-Sins will be too disappointed.
I wouldn't say it's a bad eco, to be fair. At least they take a rifle to the next round.
Yeah, the rifle and these two upgraded pistols with armor to boot, smoke saved as well. It means 8-Sins can make this round, even if it will be an eco, they can make it a little bit more competitive, do some financial damage to Nemesis, maybe take a couple more rifles away, and then really put themselves in a great position for round 5.
With a 2400 loss bonus, they should be able to work with something. They're gonna go for the same force buy. At least that Galil, we'll see what impact it has. Of course, Tadpole with the USP with the lowest weapon in the entire 8-Sin squad. We're gonna see on how they would like to play it. Smokes will be deployed. They're gonna try to get more mid control. Thomas already mid. He's gonna be a little bit more cautious now because he sees what happened on the first round on how he got punished and the aggression. So he's a little bit more proactive. Next is playing under Con as well, working his way up. This CT side is giving them space while 3 players are already towards the B apartments.
Yeah, 8-Sins don't really want to overextend. With these short-range weapons, you really do want Nemesis to come into you. 3 players still inside the apartments. Just there is going to be the one tasked with defending. Prime is going to be forced off the angle of short as Thomas begins to try and lead from the front, create space for his team, but will actually lose his life as a result. Just there, getting first contact, deploying that smoke to try and play defensively around as Nemesis will try and pop out of the apartments. Prime ready and waiting, Deagle in hand. But the European team, they're actually really biding their time. They're looking like they could cancel. And it's honestly the right move. 8-Sins fully stacking towards B. And with no execute coming in, Nemesis have just expended a lot of their resources. Only flashes remain. They will have to do it by pure gunfire.
I think this is where 8-Sin's bread and butter is now. Prime, he's a window. He can go to the A side if it's required, especially with the Deagle. Hold on. Oh my god.
Yeah, Prime spotting the players coming up short. That gives 8-Sins a chance to try and get into position. Godspell still waiting here on the van. No, it's going to try and present it ahead, and Godspell will take it. So man advantage still retained by 8-Sins, and Prime's Deagle claims another victim. Time, your life is limited. Jaws there takes you down with just pistols and a saved rifle. 8-Sins respond, and we are tied up once again.
Wow. If it wasn't Prime getting the early, playing the window, playing that window, got that information that is required to find out where Nemesis are playing, we wouldn't be where we are.
Yeah, that Prime, it's a risky play, peeking the window in that sort of situation, but he had to do it. 8-Sins has completely rotated off of B, just leaving Godspell on his own. If Nemesis has got up short uncontested, that is a round for them, without a doubt. Prime being able to get that kill, being able to get that information and then escape with his own life, that was massive for 8-Sins in that situation. And they found themselves in a very strong position now. Nemesis, it's a messy buy. Crucial's got his AWP, but Thomas is relegated to just a pistol.
Of course, the Hydra will take the full, and Crucial does get the first frag onto Fraser. Will Nexus see the player on Con? A lot of spin Counter-Strike Crucial. Gonna still stay middle. They're gonna rotate back. It seems like they're gonna go straight back to the A side. There's only 1 player. No, apologies. I mean, there's 3 players. No, 1 player, yes. 1 player on the A side. And now he's on stairs. And is Tadpole aware that Nexus, he's working his way up Con?
Oh, yeah, there's no one covering. Tadpole needs to divert his attention to Con, leave Raps to the responsibility of Godspell, and Tadpole will actually get that kill onto Nexius. Tyne making a lot of noise as they're making their way into Sandwich, trying to boost up. Joster is ready for it. No, Godspell is ready for it, but can't quite connect the headshot. Swinging out now as Nemesis begin their crossover towards the site. Tadpole needs at least 1, but can't get anything. Prime just there chiming in though, but the kills are not going to be enough. Nemesis, instant response. This is proper back and forth CS. They are trading slobber knockers right now.
I love the word slobber knockers. On the side of Nemesis, the economy is not really in the greatest position. Note, he's on the pistol. He's going to get the utility, get what is required to support the team. While on the opposing side, on H-Sins, they're going to go for a 5-mass AVP. Fraser, we have not seen him in his prime AVP. We've seen it in Nuke, but now we're going to need it in the map of Mirage now. This map is do or die for Team Nemesis. H-Sins, all they need to do is close this map off. They need to really get early map control, which is very, very important. Fraser's going to keep playing the window position. And a missed window smoke. Godspell does get the first kill onto Crucial.
Yeah, trying to work his way out of ramp. Godspell does win that duel out. Tyne is still lurking around, but currently smoked off. The rest of Nemesis grouping up, exiting underpass and trying to play for mid control, looking to pincer in towards this A-bomb site. Thomas now going back to regroup with the ramp player. Nemesis need to bide their time. This is the prime opportunity for H-Sins to make a play. But it's about the confidence of that. Nexius boosting over the smoke. If Godspell overextends, this could be a free kill. Arm spotted, and the nade, only a tickle of damage. Not enough really to make a significant impact in this one. And Tapol tasked with a heavy responsibility of holding ramp. He does have the support of Fraser's AWP in towards Ticket. And Nemesis still trying to work out exactly when to activate. Now is the opportune moment. Tapol really scared of a Palace play, but has the cover of Fraser from ramp. Pop flash out, but Thomas has tucked himself back in. Nexius does get one on the con aggression, and Tapol loses his life in the end. Double for the Belgian beast. And Fraser needs at least one to try and deny this plant, but the fire forces him away. We are in this 3 versus 3 now. No kit for the side of H-Sins. They do have a smoke, but it's going to be all rifles. Fraser has already worked his way out on towards triple. Double jungle setup being deployed by Nemesis, leaving Note to reposition in towards Palace. Fraser will actually pick off Thomas, and Prime takes Nexius down. Note has to rush his play. Diffuse is being stuck by Jaws there, but the cover from Prime and Fraser is enough. Once again, it is proper ping pong CS, back and forth. H-Sins tying us up once again.
Bing, bang, and bosh. This is exactly what this team is. I'm a little surprised now that H-Sins are going. We're seeing something. We're seeing maybe they learned something from TLR. I think sometimes in life you lose one, you gain one. But if you take the losing in pride and take it in stride, I promise there's much more to it. But we are currently in the technical pause, ladies and gentlemen. So don't you worry, there's a little bit of tech error, so there's nothing to be surprised. Honestly, take this moment to breathe. And
enjoy the T-Rex with the little baggy things.
He's fighting everyone!
I mean, it's Halloween, everyone's dressing up, and it wouldn't be epic if it wasn't a true party. We have the pub quiz going on stage right now as well, so it may be a little bit of a distraction for some of the players, but I mean, this is the atmosphere we love here at the KCC.
Is that Geo? No, it's not. That's not Geo.
Yeah, come on, the people at home won't know who Geo is. We should talk. We should get back to the game.
Distracted.
Yeah, come on, you got to stay focused, man. Just like the players, even in moments like this when there's a little bit of a lull in this tech
Oh my god,
pause.
I can see H-Sins over there. H-Sins at the back, the banner.
Yeah, obviously you can't miss them. They're always out at Epic in force, branding themselves. As we said, they've contributed so much to the UK scene, but this is going to be a big test for them. Obviously, they had a good run with their previous roster at EPIC45, finalists at EPIC44, but with this new Drip Men core coming in, this is a chance for them to really cement themselves, and taking down a European team like Nemesis, that would be a massive statement of intent from one of the most dedicated orgs within the UK.
Indeed, this is like more of a like H-Sins. They picked up the XVQIC. Unfortunately, there's a lot of orgs dropping out. H-Sins are one of the few teams and organizations actually stayed within UKCS. So a lot of props to them as well. Unfortunately, you know how CS is always constantly changing, and H-Sins are always constantly adapting. So a lot of due respect for that. And there's been a lot of big conversations talking about Nemesis and H-Sins head-to-head contenders for UK. Well, my apologies. I mean Epic Clan. They're the contenders for, and especially other teams. We got 2 more international teams. If the Danes and the Polish.
We got 3. We got Min Latte as well. So we got Phantom, Prestige, Min Latte, and Nemesis all traveling over for this event. Really, Epic Lab really is attracting European teams and really giving UK teams an opportunity to test themselves. H-Sins, they are doing just that, and you have to say they are in the prime place to be one of the best placed UK teams here at EPIC46. So, taking in, as we said, taking down Nemesis. We said Mirage was going to be a bit of a concern for them. They look like they have definitely put the demons of that TLR game aside. They have improved exponentially, and they have learned from that defeat. A defeat is only a defeat if you fail to learn from it.
No,
it doesn't seem like a defeat right now.
No, honestly, I agree. Like, right now, this is like the true form of Axons. We haven't seen this Axons. As I've personally been casting them, I haven't seen this Axons. And they're all coming to alive now when it's required. Honestly, I'm all here for it. But I'm only have one concern, is the IGL Fraser. He's renowned to be a tilter. He's renowned to have very bad anguish, and hopefully it does not affect his mental. Because I feel like if you're not mentally in the game, unfortunately, you will not be in the game. But ladies and gentlemen, we are back in Counter-Strike. Currently, the scoreline is 3-3, a tie. Of course, Axons with the full economy on our opposing side. Team Nemesis on the T side are currently in a half buy. So we're going to see on how this will play out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's actually a force coming in from Nemesis. 2 Galils, an upgraded pistols, a smattering of utility to boot. Immediately trying to stunt the momentum of Axons. As we said, this has been a very back and forth game thus far. And Nemesis back to basics. APOP coming in, Nexius leading the charge, Galil in hand. Tadpole is positioned on top of the palace, but it's actually Prime underneath to get the kill. 1 up, 1 down, and that's forced Nemesis into a retreat. Note, lovely little 1 dig, but can only get the 1. He has been a menace with that deagle in this series, particularly on Nuke, but all this time it's been a bit of a ruse. Nemesis trying to find their way out onto the B bomb site, but Tyne, the player who got out, has actually just lost his life to the hands of Jorstair. Nemesis are looking like they want to commit out onto this B bomb site. The bomb is out. Crucial, just a Tech 9 in hand. Can't do anything. And Thomas going down as well. Axons stringing 2 rounds together to put themselves back in front for the first time since the pistol.
Damn. Nemesis are going to have... I think if I was Nemesis, if I was Coach Rick, call the timeout. Because something's not right. That T side is not adding up. You're going to go straight for the A execution. It does not go according to plan. Also, you can't constantly just run towards B. I understand why Thomas is calling that to catch him off guard, but Axons are already aware of how you're going to play it now. I feel like the strats he may have called maybe being called too early, or Axons are contributing back towards a pistol round. It is a pistol round. If Nemesis could get a few kills, but most of them are going on the con. And Godspell, is he ready for it? As he flashes himself!
Yeah, high flying, able to get himself a triple. Will go down to the hands of Note, but Fraser is there for the support, getting himself a single. Tadpole stealing away the other one with the HE. Axons establishing himself a buffer. The ping pong CS may just have ended, and we could see the start of an Axons CT, well, an Axons CT showing.
Would you call that a successful eco or an unsuccessful in your opinion?
Well, for Nemesis, I would say that's probably an unsuccessful eco. You really, in that sort of situation, you want to take more than 1 gun away. It's a very difficult situation, though, because it is a throwaway round with just Glock. So being able to get 1, it's not the worst, but it definitely could have been better for them. But it's probably what was expected, to be honest. But this is one that counts. The AK is coming out. Crucial is going to be without the big green, but the rifles will more than suffice should they be called upon. Fraser taking a very aggressive position here inside the apartments.
He's confident.
Oh, baited out, and Prime loses his life to Note. You can't give this guy a second opportunity, but Fraser will not let him. So the little B pressure has been nullified for now, but all this time Nexius has been making his way up connector. It takes down Godspell with ease. Tyne has walked his way out ramp as well, and the A site has fallen. Maybe I might have spoken a bit too soon about the ping pong CS ending, because Nemesis almost certain to take this one away.
They could save it, or they could play it.
They have to save it, really. Jorstair is in a really uncomfortable position, though. He has managed to find himself back out through a window.
Mechanical.
Good little movement there.
Can you do that?
No, I can't do that. I'm not a movement guy.
I saw you played UKCS as well.
I mean, not at any level anywhere near to these guys. All right, Fraser, he needs to keep hold of this AWP. He's been tested by Thomas and a missed shot. Trying to give the IGL for Nemesis a chance, but he will be allowed to escape. Thomas, he'd very much love to get himself on the board right now. 0-8 as things stand.
I don't think we're seeing, I'll be honest with you, what we saw in Nuke is not the same Nemesis we are seeing now. They do get themselves another round, a 4th round, a 1-round gap between Axons, but I'm still having the worries I've even mentioned before. Yes, they do said 1 player for the B lurk. Imagine that bomb had the B. That person had the bomb. that would have been game over, but that was not the instance. It is a little bit of a concern. Like, I feel like once the sides switch, that's a whole different story within itself.
Yeah, you feel the 8sins have always excelled on their CT sides, but it's their T sides that have sometimes been called into question. Obviously, we were proven a bit wrong with that back on Nuke, but Mirage, not your home turf, very much a different story.
And Miss Molly as well.
Yeah, heavy pressure inside mid here for the CT side of 8sins. Thomas in the top mid could be overwhelmed. Nexius able to get one, and Note timing in with the trade as well. Prime, that was a prime opportunity, not been taken. Fraser, full blind AWP ringing out. Note is already taking so much space on B, and he is providing a masterful distraction as the bomb makes its way in towards the A bomb site. Prime, the only one in any sort of position to defend it, but he cannot afford to lose his life in this situation. He needs to wait for the support of Fraser if they even want to consider going for this.
One player's already working his way up to CT. He needs to stop playing it now, and it's pretty much time. Double CT, okay! Prime just get dealt with. Now is Fraser on a 1v3. Is he going to play in fit? No, he's not. Oh, wait, hold on. He's going to play from con. He's going to play a little bit more of a different tactic. Actually, no, he's going to go for the save.
Yeah, save is the right call here.
Good call.
And yeah, diverting back through towards TV, that's the smart move. You already have Crucial pushing his way in towards CT spawn, clearing out the B bomb site. So Fraser, there's still time for him to lose it, but I think he's got himself into a decent position to carry this over, and you feel like 8sins do need that money in a decent position, but not sensational. He will have to drop at least one into the next. As Nemesis tie us up once again.
Fraser could be able to drop 3 M4s easily, for sure.
Yeah, he can still afford to do that. Prime needs one, Godspell needs one, Tapol needs one, and there we go. Exactly as you said.
A full buy, half buy.
Such a generous guy as Fraser, providing his team with the weaponry they need. So, no real concessions here for 8sins.
Honestly, it's tie to tie. It's head to head, ladies and gentlemen. Fraser, he's gonna go through con. No, he's gonna play for CS. He's gonna play more with the deep angle with the AVP, and of course on the opposing side is Teen. I would be scared, but he's gonna go back to con, blow up the con smoke. But one player's already pushing his way through B apps, and of course it's Nayat. This man, he loves his entries. He's already low crouch.
Yeah, he's really trying to pressure this B site every single round, trying to draw the short player away from the mid to give his team a bit more space to create something towards A. Unfortunately, tickled down very low, no kill to his name in this one, but Nexius does get the opening, quickly traded out by Fraser. Nemesis very much grouping for this A site here. Tapol from Ticket, needs to try his best to defend, gives himself a smoke to play around, but you can imagine Tyne is going to be ready and waiting for this, but actually retreating back to ramp, regrouping with his team for a re-execute. Tapol, this reposition is big. 2 bodies he's seen, able to take one as Fraser finishes off Tyne as well. Thomas does get the trade, but Nemesis still finds himself in a man disadvantage. I take that back. Thomas has come online. His first 2 kills could be crucial ones. Nope, head on a swivel takes down Jules there. And now it's a battle of the IGLs. Fraser versus Thomas.
Thomas, your age does prevail you. Thomas is what your team needs!
Ooh.
And Fraser does get it. Is there a surprising nature behind that? No, there's not.
Yeah, Fraser trying to prove that he is one of the top dog IGLs in the UK. Thomas, your time may have passed, but Fraser really wants to make this impact. The new generation coming through. 8sins still a very young roster. Fraser and Prime, the only truly experienced, the more experienced players on this roster. I mean, a lot of them have been playing quite consistently in the UK scene for a while, but Fraser and Prime very much the level heads in this one. Well, I say level heads, it's Fraser.
What? Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was a flash. I'm like, whoa. What's going on here? This is an interesting strat I haven't seen before. Maybe you want to chuck that fake on the window towards B to scare a little bit.
And this is that conditioning coming out from Nemesis. Note has been putting so much pressure on towards B, but now that Nemesis is looking like they want to actually group towards that side of the map, they may just think it's initially a fake, but 8sins are in a... Oh, I was going to say 8sins have a prime setup, but no, taking Fraser's head clean off. Jawstep does choose to activate, able to get one with the MP9, upgrade himself to the AWP. Re-peeking, Tyne not ready for it. Jawstep able to escape the fire, and Nemesis are sent scrambling. Cancel is called. And the heroics of Jorster in this one may have just given 8sins a foothold to win out the half.
That double kill, that first kill and the second kill, determined where the round will go. But now they can go straight to the A side, and there's already 2 players already on the A side, so I wouldn't be too worried yet. Thomas, Nexus, and Crucial. Thomas, it's your time to really call this correctly now. With some utility to play with, 2 smokes, 3 smokes, 2 flashes, and a grenade and the molly to play with.
Yeah, they have everything they want for this execute, and 8sins are playing this very passively on towards the A site. Thomas beginning his entry, Tadpole taken out of the round courtesy of VHE, but Prime does get one back to re-establish the man advantage. Godspell from the stairs trying to find an angle as Thomas picks up Jorster. There we go, that's the Godspell activation that we were talking about, and now it is going to be Thomas forced into this 1 versus 2 clutch. The veteran of the UK scene up against his countryman. One will go down. Finds refuge in the smoke. Godspell. Ooh, spots Thomas on the jump. Your position is compromised, and Prime is there with the bat stab. So 8sins will win out the half, 7-5. And Nemesis, they need to mount the CT side comeback.
This is where this is another story will begin. How 8sins would love to play the T side. They love to play A, especially. They love to play a quick entry into A, send Prime in, be the first entry fragger. That's how they love to play it. But maybe Nemesis, they may want to switch up the strategy. Maybe they don't want to play too aggressive just yet. Playing too aggressive could mean more punishing. Remember that in mind. That Team Nemesis are playing to not end up in the lower bracket. Remember that. There's a lot on the line for both of these sides. Nemesis, a big org, a VRS ranking is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. On the side of 8sins, if they do win it, if not the end of the world for 8sins just yet.
Yeah, Nemesis, the weight of expectation is on them. They're a big org with a lot of investment behind them that have really failed to establish themselves a footing within the Tier 2 scene. And with Jorster has established 8sins a footing in this round, opening kill, and Prime will double up as well. Thomas from the short position. Oh, he's whippy spray on the USP. Prime cleaves his head off. Crucial only able to get one with the dual Berettas in towards the ramp, but that is completely notified. 8sins, the B site is empty. The bomb will go down there, and before it even gets there, Jorster cleans up Crucial. 8sins taking the pistol, and we said their CT side maybe something to the T side, sorry, maybe something to worry about. That pistol round gives them a lot of momentum.
Agreed. Honestly, I might even take it back, but it's too early to call it now. Yes, they may have won this one, but Team Nemesis very great. They got 0 kills. Thomas, we're not really seeing him currently right now calling correct, if you would like to say so. Now, I don't want to be too horrible in this. Like, I have to be honest. 8sins are playing this correctly, but once again, it's the full buys where the bad boys really do come out. That's where my concern will really start to begin. Because right now, the first couple rounds, they're going to be easy, of course, man. Because why? It's ecos. It's not a deagle. It's just all pistol and the P250 and no utility.
Yeah, Nemesis have opted for the full eco on this one. The only upgraded pistol will be on Crucial. It's USPs around for the rest of them. B stack coming out here for the CTs. 8sins just sending feelers around the map, trying to get some bearing of where Nemesis are, the buy that they have. The fact there has been no defensive util to meet, well, to 8sins would probably indicate a very low buy, maybe some upgraded pistols, but that would be it. So the sheer thought of a 5-7 lurking around the corner means they have to be careful. But right now, they seem to have the right read, grouping up towards A. And they will be walking into an empty bomb site. Nemesis have made the gamble on the B, and unfortunately the coin toss came up wrong.
Indeed. This is I wouldn't put it past them now. I don't know what Nemesis can really do here. Can they really go play for X's? Not really, no. They have nothing to play for, nothing to play with. And the weapon of choice is very, very bad. Never mind, this eco is actually working in the favor. You know what? That's actually a really good eco.
I'm not too sure about that, to be honest. I mean, a single kill for no. I don't think that's really going to be enough. You really want a couple. You've allowed the T side to build up some bank, build up some momentum. They've got a bomb plant on the back of it as well, so they are very much flush with cash. The only real person with that lacking would be Jorster. But this is the round that is going to count. The guns coming out for Nemesis. Thomas relegating himself to an MP9, but M4s around the board for the rest of the team. And this is where 8sins' calling is going to have to be on point. First proper rifle round.
A little bit of a stress moment now. I think this is where the true chess will really begin, honestly.
Yeah, but to counteract that, even if 8sins do walk away with that, they walk away with this round, the pressure will all be on Nemesis. So this, I think, could be a very decisive round in the series. And 8sins playing it very slow right now. Looking like they want to try and take mid control. Prime trying to lurk out through the underpass would be NEMESIS in window to try and defend. And this has drawn Nemesis a little bit out of position. The A players fading over to try and cover the mid play. 8sins are still grouped up for this A hit. Tiny, the only real player in position. He is now blocked off by those smokes. It is going to have to be a retake here for Nemesis. No pushing up short. Prime spotted out. Godspell unable to get anything. Prime gets one, but it's, ooh, I was going to say quickly trade out by Note, but he's just a bit too slow on the peak. Jumping up high will establish a man advantage for Nemesis, extended by NEMESIS and Tyne. Just there, they may have walked into an empty bomb site, but he has found himself all alone, able to get the first. Low HP on Note as well, and Thomas right just with an MP9. This is still doable for Just there.
Play it together. Fair enough. One play with Con. Note and Thomas are going to play together. Thomas does pick up the M4 now. Yeah,
this gets a bit more scary if you're Just there. He's able to pick up the low HP player, but Thomas is still lurking around. 18 HP now on the T-side player, lurking inside of CT. He does have an HE to try and break this smoke. The tap from Thomas, breaking the smoke. Not spotted out. Just there knows the bomb is not being defused right now. He needs to choose the opportune moment to swing out, but Thomas is just sticking it and he can't quite connect with the spray. So few bullets there for Just there, just not quite enough to finish the job, and Nemesis stealing that one away.
You can hear it. You can hear them now. They're roaring. You can see the shouting. Damn. I think that is now the first full buy. As now to take this where will this go now. Team Nemesis need to lock in. They have to lock in now. They are 1 away from double digits and actually 4 away from taking this game home and getting some to upper bracket.
Yeah, 8sins, 4 rounds is all they need. Nemesis trailing by 3 as things stand. Crucial swinging out from mid in combination with NEMESIS. They have cleaned up the mid presence here from 8sins. It's just Fraser left alone there. The AXQ is now coming in. You see Godspell walking his way out all towards Sandwich. Tadpole is able to pick up 1 with the HE as well to make it a 2 versus 2, sorry. Thomas once again on an MP9. Carried over from the previous. Tadpole Molotov to try and delay the CTs, but we see Note playing very much ahead of it. Thomas trying to take contact to allow his teammate to crawl up, and then Thomas will actually be the one to take the kill. Note will finish off Godspell as well, and Nemesis 2 rounds in a row here, matching it 2 to 2.5. They still trail by 2 though.
Now, 8sins need to. They have a lot of options to work with. They can go for a half buy, they can go for a force buy, or they can eco this. How would Nemesis? How would 8sins like to play this? Do you have an Note? Oh yeah, what am I looking at? Sorry, I was looking at something else. I was looking at the wrong side.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's alright.
8sins. They're gonna go for 4 Tech 9s, 2 flashes. Okay, a good amount of utility to play off. They have 2,400 loss points. If they do lose, it's not the end of the world just yet. But they need to get to double digits at least now. Need to start playing more aggressive now. Because now you're seeing Nemesis all stepping up the pace. Like, they're not giving them more control. They're not giving them more freedom. They already made that mistake, and they're not going to punish them. And now they go straight for the A, so the A execution will be called.
Oh, but yeah, the kill's in sync right now from Nemesis. Unfortunately, this aggression from 8sins has been snuffed out before it even really got out of the ramp. Prime just going to try and cause a bit of chaos inside the smoke, but quickly deleted by Note. Fraser, if he's able to get a bomb plant, that gives 8sins a good advantage coming into the next one, but unfortunately, that is all they are going to get in this one. Nemesis trail now only by 1, but the bomb plant means 8sins will be flushed with cash for the next.
Well, on the side of Nemesis, their economy is good. If they do lose a round, it's not the end of the world just here. But 2,900 loss bonus, not you know, yeah, a 2,900 loss bonus included the bomb planted. So I would say that's a positive round for them, especially with this
being able to get the bomb down with the weapons that you had at your disposal, that is very respectable coming out there from 8sins. But they do need to begin to string some rounds back together here. Nemesis have closed that gap to just 1. Thomas is still operating with that MP9.
He's loving it. But it seems to be a fall on B rush. 2 players on the B side. Are they already though? That's the good question though.
Yeah, I think Nemesis is going to be ready for this. 8sins, they are taking their time, only now beginning to execute here, but the smoke blocking their vision, that kind of stalls the Brits in their tracks. And we do see the diversion back through underpass now for a couple of the players working their way out. Note is going to be ready for this. This is all going to come down to a timing on the smoke play. And Prime trying to be boosted up into the window will be exposed. Crucial heading the Molotov back into the smoke. Will take down Jules there. And Nemesis on the verge of tying up this map. Or may have spoken too soon. Tadpole leaves Notes head off.
It's going to create a little bit of a concern there in middle. Fraser with the support. With no utility, honestly, to play with now. This is more, they're going to have to take on the Jules dry. One player stuck at B, Godspell. It's either that he needs to get the kill or they're going to have to save it. I don't think the save is what Aces are going to go for.
8sins are in a really awkward position right now. The bomb is locked into top mid. They have no idea of the presence that could be in towards window. They have to play it very cautious, and realistically, Godspell cannot begin to activate until the bomb is in position to try and capitalize. Now 8sins take the plunge. They're walking their way up short to try and join it up with their teammate. It's two players on towards this B side of the map, but Thomas spotting out Godspell on the jump spot, and there Nexius will clean him up. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 on the site, but Nexius will take all three in this one. Nemesis tie us up once again on their map pick, and 8sins, these last few rounds have felt really flat from them.
This is a conversation we had before pre-game. Is the T side we should be worried about? I think the T side is coming to the worst possible outcome just yet. With the 400 loss bonus, they can go for another force buy. I don't think they're going to go for fully invested.
I don't think you can really risk a force buy in this one. We see the Deagles and Tech-9s coming out for 8sins. I guess maybe a hope of a repeat of something previous to try and get the bomb down, maybe take a couple of kills, get yourself a little bit extra bank. You can't really do financial damage to Nemesis at this point. They are flush with it. Maybe just put a bit of test on Thomas. Still sitting 4 and 12 right now. Not had the game that he would have wanted. Well placed HE, but a little bit too deep actually. He is now going to be chased down. Flash is knocking him off the angle. He's pushed over towards Scarpilla. Only able to get one. Just there with Tech-9 cleans him up, and actually picking up the AK will finish off the Crucial as well. 8sins have established a man advantage, but with lesser weapons, it's going to be very difficult to hold on to it. That smoking towards short locks Nexius out for a little bit, making his presence known now with the smoke break. Tyne trying to activate and act as a distraction from Market for the short players to begin their crawl. Actually picks off Jules there. That is the AK being dropped. Not in a position to be recovered, but Godspell, that run and gun Tech-9, such a deadly weapon, picking up the M4 to finish off Note, and Nexius on an island, time very much against him. I don't see a way that this is going to be possible for Nemesis unless 8sins hand it to them on a silver platter. No time for Nexius, even with that kill onto Fraser. The low buy coming out from 8sins puts them on double digits.
That force buy was everything. Now we're into double digits. Nemesis are just a 1 round gap again. Nemesis with 1900 loss bonus, and of course the economy was fine, and they have enough money to keep going for the next 2 rounds. Now this is going to be the big challenge for Nemesis. I mean 8sins. Was they be able to run with this now, as they got everything in their cards now? Now they're able to see on how they like to play the CT side on Nemesis now. Now they need to run with it. They need to play a little bit more aggressive now, chat.
Yeah, they need to rally this momentum. Yes, you got the eco round win, but it's a kind of a gimmicky round. It's not something that's easy to replicate into a rifle round. This will be the true test, and it's when Nemesis have been dominating them thus far in this half. But once again, 8sins, they're playing it very slow. They've not really got any map control. You've taken away apartments, but that's usually a given for the T side. Very much locked into top mid, hoping the CTs will whittle their utility down, but it doesn't seem to be a case. Now they're beginning to activate. Tadpole does get the opening frag in this one. Thomas, that does put him in a precarious situation. He needs to call on support of Crucial, but as the rotations have come in, Nexius losing his life will force Crucial into a decision. Which side do you want to support? Where do you think the T's are going to hit? And 8sins, they have the world at their feet right now. And they're actually going into the B site. And this is a great read coming out from Nemesis. You've got 3 defenders here. Crucial will pick off Godspell. That's one of the short players dealt with very quick. And Tyne and Crucial in unison. Great CT call there from Nemesis. Reading the 8sins play to perfection. Tying us up 10-10 in a 3 versus 5 disadvantage. just positioning your troops in the right position to completely nullify that 8sins attempt.
That call was such. I feel like that call was on the fly. I feel like they could have waited for a little bit longer, got more information on where the rotations are going and where the CTs are placed now. Now is a 10-10. Now is the head-to-head. Now is a tie game. 8sins need to do something. Their economy is already in despair on the side of Nemesis. They can keep playing. They can keep playing for OT if they want to. Ladies and gentlemen, this 8sins squad are struggling. We need to see some life in them. On the T side, fortunately, they're not. They didn't give the same output as it did on the CT side.
No, we've mentioned it all series long that Nemesis, 8sins' CT sides have been by far their stronger side. They can sometimes go lacking on the T sides. Their only rounds they've got so far have been courtesy of the opening 2 rounds where they were up against pistols and anti-ecos, and then that eco buy that got them back onto that B bomb site. It's been very gimmicky strats that have worked for 8sins. As soon as they devolve into more regular standard CS, that's when Nemesis begin to dominate them.
Indeed, they're going to re-smoke window though. Are they aware of the player though? He's currently...
Yeah, Godspell walking out onto the stairs, getting himself a double, will eventually be traded out by Tyne, who actually picks up Prime and Fraser as well. Puts it all on Jostair, who can only cannot even get a kill before he drops onto the site. He loses his life in the air, and Nemesis will be taking the lead here, 11-10. The money of 8sins is broken. You imagine this is going to be map point going towards Nemesis.
This is going to hurt. I can tell you, this is going to hurt. Everything was in the favor. All the cards were working towards it. Even in the economy, even the weapons, even the map control they had, even the sites they had. They're going to go for a half buy. Not sure why. Of course, with the loss bonus now at 1900, so there's not much really can do. All they can really do is just play with the life. A lot of flashes and a lot of Hell and Mary and also a Dream.
Yeah, just try and hope for a gimmicky play, but I think Nemesis are going to be ready for it on this occasion. 5 players in towards the B apartments, but a little bit of spam through the wall and the little presence being made from Nemesis has kind of made 8sins second guess themselves. They are actually leaving the apartments now, regrouping in towards mid, where Fraser has been posted with the Deagle.
Does the tale repeat itself, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my god, Nexus on window. A little bit more aggressive. Prime with the nice one tap. And the
Tech 9! No, does get a double though. Man advantage still with Nemesis, extended now courtesy of that kill onto Prime. Jostair in a 1 versus 3, despite that lovely little double from Prime to give them a little bit of hope. Unfortunately, those troops just fell around him. And Jostair, 50 seconds on the clock. Bomb is dropped in towards Cat. I don't see a way he's able to get this. Financial damage is the only aim of the game, but even then, Nemesis are flush with it. And as the clock begins to tick down, Jostair's time may just be up. He has recovered the bomb, but unfortunately, Thomas swinging. Jostair will lose his life, and Nemesis will be moving on to map point. The perfect opportunity to take us to map 3 of Inferno.
Hold on. Double OT. Second map OT.
You think they can do it again?
Economy. They have the money now.
They've got the money. They've got everything they want into this round. Fraser was going to be without his AWP, but the AK will more than suffice.
Prime.
Unfortunately, I just don't think that what we've seen from 8sins in these gun rounds has been sufficient. I think we would need to see a massive change in form. I think playing that fast death ball style of CS has really been working for them, and it is looking like it's going to be something fast here in towards the A site. There will be 2 defenders, Nexius and Tyne, trying to establish a crossfire. Tapov flashed out of the ramp now. Nexius in towards Sandwich, goes completely unchecked, picks up 2. Jostair is traded out there, but Tyne with a double of his own, and now it's only Godspell on the other side of the map. 1 versus 4, and I think 8sins, they're already thinking about Inferno. Look at him, not even looking where he's going. I don't see a way he's going to win this. 8sins, their momentum has been snuffed out on this T side. Nemesis almost certain to catch this one over the line. Inferno awaits, and Note sings the hymn that will take us to Inferno. Oh, I mean, if you're an 8sins fans, That's going to be a rough one to take. Unfortunately, we did say it. We've said it all series long. Their T side is going to be was something that was going to be their downfall at times, and that has proven to be the case once again. They could not win a single gun round on that T side. It was the pistol, the follow-up, and that eco buy that just so happened to be a perfect read, isolating Thomas and getting the bomb down.
I feel like Mirage was, in my personal opinion, people may disagree, was the worst map pick that they could have chosen. In my personal opinion, I understood why Nemesis chose that, and I think it's kind of an obvious choice why they went for Mirage. I think it was really predicted that it was gonna go to Inferno, the third map decider. But it's the same concern there on the T side. It's something we have to be worried about on the map of Inferno. But we're gonna leave Inferno for the moment, ladies and gentlemen.
I think we could say yeah, come on.
You want to?
This is going to be a close series. That map was, to be honest, that map was a lot closer than we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be a complete and utter whitewash in favour of Nemesis. The fact that 8sins have been able to put up that kind of performance, make that scoreline as competitive it was, got double digits on a map that we've said they are not strong on at all. We are going onto a map that they are very strong on.
Indeed.
One that they have dominated in the UK
on. Arena.
So there is a very real possibility that Nemesis is going to be knocked down to the lower bracket. But we will give it a little break and we will find out just in a minute as we continue this best of 3 at EPIC46 with Intel. CS tournament brought to you by Asus ROG. Map 3 is going to be coming up, so do not go anywhere.
Map Inferno.
pain that it causing. They ran through with the food that they own. Gang bitch never moving with caution. Too damn sick, no assuming my role. Bandwidth, EQ and distortion. Bandage through the wounds of my soul. Say again, no room for this haunting. Vantage got me cruising at home. All the roof and the pain that it causing. They ran through with the food that they own. Gang bitch never moving with caution. Too damn sick, no assuming my role. Bandwidth, EQ and distortion. Bandage through the wounds of my soul. Say again, no room for this haunting. Vantage got me cruising at home. All the roof and the pain that it causing. They ran through with the food that they own. They could never roll in my path, nothing like a stroll in the park. Never seen light straight thrown in the dark. Ever gleam bright with its token of art. Forever dream, evergreen, even if the oceans apart. Set levels when the solar enhance. Get set and now we roll in the R's. Jet set to me owning my path. Gang bitch never moving with caution. Too damn sick, no assuming my role. Bandwidth, EQ and distortion. Bandage through the wounds of my soul. Say again, no room for this haunting. Vantage got me cruising at home. All the roof and the pain that it causing. They ran through with the food that they own. Gang bitch never moving with caution. Too damn sick, no assuming my role. Bandwidth, EQ and distortion. Bandage through the wounds of my soul. Say again, no room for this haunting. Vantage got me cruising at home. All the roof and the pain that it causing. They ran through with the food that they own. Never seen light straight thrown in the dark. Ever gleam bright with its token of art. Forever dream, evergreen, even if the oceans apart. Set levels when the solar enhance. Get settled, now we roll in the R's. Jet set to me owning my path. Owning my rolling my path. Nothing like a stroll in the park. Never seen light straight thrown in the dark. Ever gleam bright with its token of art. Forever dream, evergreen, even if the oceans apart. Set levels when the solar enhance. Get settled, now we roll in the R's. Jet set to me owning my path. Owning my path.
Let's set the tone, a bottle of red wine and pheromones. The conversation flows, a couple of hours, see how it goes. I really trust my senses, catch me if I fall. So done with second guessing, you seem to have it all. In loving not for anything emotional too soon. You got my invitation, now the rest is up to you. Kick it, rendezvous, make some time for me and you. Get you over, treat you right. We vibing like Kick it, rendezvous, make some time for me and you. Get together, you and I. We vibing like feeling kinda tipsy, didn't drink so I don't get it. I must be high but I'm just guessing. It's something in the way you talk, I'll show my hand, let's play it out. Putting my heart up on the table. I really trust my senses, catch me if I fall. So done with second guessing, you seem to have it all. In loving not for anything emotional too soon. You got my invitation, now the rest is up to you. Kick it, rendezvous, I just let him go. Stole my heart just like a criminal. I think it's time you let me know if you wanna kick it, rendezvous. Make some time for me and you. Get you over, treat you right. We vibing like kick it, rendezvous. Make some time for me and you. Get together, you and I. We vibing like
Finally get paid for the get down. You can't tell me now about time. Do you know how many lines I done pent down? Vibes I done sent out, but we ain't here to dig. I'll up the market till they come red carpet the kids. Success still the target. Soon I'll be crossing that bridge, but can't bring everybody with me. Family only. I got some people think I owe a favor, barely know me. That's why my focus on the road. It's all I know. I see them sticking close to play the wall and watch my growth, cause I got something they never had. So get on the beat and I need a helipad. I float on fly. You know where I'm from, so it comes as no surprise. I just out with a mean vernacular, dream spectacular. I keep a queen and passenger, FL capital Y. Anywhere I am, jam, that's for sure. Turn me on, better set the mood from the door. That's just how it go.
Glad I've been keeping it playing so long. Out here in this world, I feel it ain't a place that I could roam. But ain't nothing like you when I'm at home. It ain't nothing like you when I'm at home.
That's why I came out stepping. I can't be doing things regular for you. I want the magic to last. I know how time try and ruin things. It get repetitive, got you tempted to doing things. I can't get reckless without you, wouldn't be no music thing. Plus, remember, we made promises way back then, and I still owe that 5-bed house with 2-3 kids. We got a fairy tale plan that's gonna change up the order they sort the mail in. Plus, I know loyalty not as valued as what it was. We not influenced by what they do, cause it's only us. I still hear poetry when I'm looking into them eyes. I still get lost in the thought of you with so much to find. And yeah, you know you fine, but still I must remind that we can live this forever and feel this forever and never and never, and still that won't leave me enough for time.
And the series has gone the distance here at EPIC46 with Intel between NEMESIS and 8sins. Taking their own map picks in very close affairs on both occasions. And now we go into a bit of an unknown for one of these teams. The map 3 is Inferno, the ultimate decider. So many great series have been decided here. I've got a good feeling this is going to be another exciting one. 8sins have dominated the UK scene on this map. They've been one of the strongest teams, competing with the likes of Washington, going toe-to-toe on this very map. NEMESIS, much more of an unknown. They have one HOTV map on record, a 16-13 defeat. So this is going to be something that 8sins, there is a lot to go off, a lot of knowledge that we have, but NEMESIS, it's going to be a question mark.
So particularly on Inferno, as we're talking about Inferno, and NEMESIS are kind of the unknown story. But on the side of 8sins, it's been a hit or miss. It's been a hit and miss. Why do I say hit and miss, particularly for the 8sins squad, is this. Their CT is very, very, very good. Their T side is where they really struggle on. Especially they struggle to get control, particularly Banana, getting long, getting anywhere control. I think that's where they really struggle on. I'm worried, but confident in both ways. Because NEMESIS are underdogs. Also remember this, the coach Rick was ex-8sins. So I feel like he also coached Prime, so
he's going to have a bit of an understanding thing. And yeah, we've said throughout the whole series, T-sides where 8sins are going to struggle. They're going to have to struggle right from the get-go because NEMESIS win the knife round and they have picked CT. So 8sins immediately going to have their backs against the wall with NEMESIS firmly in the driving seat. We have seen some nice little strats coming out from 8sins on this map in the past, but whether they're going to be able to make it happen against top-tier opposition, that's going to be a different question altogether. We are going live in just a second, so let's give you some go for a prediction. Who do you think's walking away with this one?
I was going to say, I want to add one more point to yours.
Okay.
I think this is Fraser's main point. As an Oppa, I think Oppa is a perfect paradise for Inferno. And I feel like this is the moment that Fraser really needs to step out as the IGL, call the strats, and also take the jewels on. I think this is where the most important part that Fraser needs to step up, especially Prime, especially all of the 8sins and the rest of NEMESIS. But my prediction is gonna be numbers, or do you want to say? Or
just say who do you think is going through? I think.
Seeing right now, NEMESIS are currently unsteady right now. It was very, very close. I would personally.
You know, so I mean, it's very close. It's a very difficult one to call. You go with NEMESIS. I think the quality that NEMESIS have, it might just be the factor that takes them over the edge. But this is such a tight one to call that I really don't know which way this series is going to go. Either team can win it, and that's what makes it so exciting.
We forgot about this. Remember, this NEMESIS has. They may not play this together as a team. These guys all have professional experience, so especially Nexus. We know who he is. He was a former ex-OG player. It may have been a year, but at least he knows the knowledge of it. In fact, I think Inferno is one of the most horrible maps on face here. Constantly played, even in FPL. Many pros agree with me. Get rid of Inferno. Bring back Anubis. But
this Inferno slander is kind of unstandable at times, but let's get through this. The ultimate decider here in Counter-Strike. Best of 3 goes the distance. Who will be sent down to the lower bracket and who will progress? NEMESIS starting on the CT side. 8sins immediately rushing up second mid here on their pistol.
Great call. One player will hold the 2 players will hold the B side. Gonna check Banana team. It's gonna go do a jump peek. Don't seem to find anything right now. Godspell, Tadpole are gonna go straight through Banana. Next does get the first kill onto Fraser. Saying Crucial does get the duties. Can he get a second shot? No, he cannot. Tadpole does get a double kill. Next is a comparable library. And partners up with Thomas while another player does come from apartments. A nice one tap coming from Thomas, taking down Godspell. That was a 2v2, a 3v2, apologies.
Yeah, and NEMESIS in a great position with Note already pushing on Banana, but he will go down. Tadpole will need the ace to clutch this one out here in the 1 versus 1. 4 to his name already up against Nexius, who's been such a strong piece in this NEMESIS team. Can Tadpole get this one over the line? The bomb is beginning to tick, but Nexius charging him down. The fuse will come in. NEMESIS will take the pistol, and it comes off the... It's almost like they were forced into that push from that death in Banana. Lovely little flash play from Thomas, setting up his teammate of Nexius to get the first. And then, even though 8sins do get the bomb plant down and get the entries into the site, NEMESIS were in the perfect position for that retake.
Yeah, agree. At least now Aces do have to get the bomb plant, and they do some damage, but they're gonna force it, so it does make sense. Tadpot, of course, with the hero AK, with the 4K, are very close to an ace, by the way.
Yeah, it would have been the ace clutch, and it would have been a clip to remember for Tadpole, but unfortunately not to be. Asins not getting off to the start that they would want. Inferno, narrowly a T-sided map, I would say, is a lot more even than it used to be, but still T-sided. And Aiden's playing a lot more slow on this occasion. Prime just sitting, doesn't want to overexpose the bottom banana as Aiden begins to put a little bit of pressure onto brackets where it would be crucial to receive them.
He got the early mid control already. No one's going to stop him just yet. Joestar is going to work his way up to apps. Teen is running on timing now. He's got the molly ready, crucial. And how is the side to side? Oh, is he going to check the angles? The most important thing. He's going to get smoked up. He's going to tuck himself in.
Yeah.
The CTs are just giving him free control at this point for short.
Yeah, crucial smoked off of the angle. He just kind of has to wait and hope his teammates are able to hold short, but Aitzen's not overly aggressing as of yet. They're still grouping up, and that is a heavy nade damage being dealt to the T side. Smoke against the fade, and this is when Crucial was activate. Only able to get one, but heavy damage being done to Prime. And now Thomas activating from the site. Lovely little double spray down. Tyne also chimes in from pit with one of his own. Thomas will end up cleaning it up, and Nemesis repel the Aitzens force buy.
Now Aces will need to eco this one now. They can get some deagles, but yeah, a few deagles to play. Oh, hold on! A full 5 stack will do the deagles.
Yeah,
Quite risky.
That to me says something slow coming out here from Aitzens. Usually, if you want to play fast, you play with Tech 9. Slow, play with the deagle, go for that one tap, wait for an overextension out of the CTs.
But the only problem is this. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Change the strat. Okay. The gradient will soften the utility. They're going to wait for utility. Potentially timing crucial. Nice swing in the middle.
Yeah, but doesn't get anything off the back of it. Just a little bit of information of presence. The player dropping into the underpass. Masons don't really want to give anything up this early. They want to try and get the opening frag and accelerate off the back of it, but nothing really presenting itself as of yet. And actually, Prime will be the first to fall. Tyne peeking up from short. The MP9 best in the deagle. Not able to get that one-shot headshot. Thomas, another double spray down with the MP9. He is having a lot of success with that weapon right now. Godspell in the underpass trying to do something to produce some damage. Joestar will pick off Crucial, but in a 4 versus 2 disadvantage, bomb being lost towards the brackets, mollied off now. Aitzens, they're in a very awkward position. Nemesis beginning to close in around them, long being covered.
A bomb plant would be very, very nice. But I feel like that is too much to ask now.
Yeah. Going for a little peek. Godspell has recovered the bomb. And they are looking like they want to finish towards A. There is no real time for a rotation here. Joestar lurking out, using the cover of the CT smoke. But unfortunately, Tyne watching it picks him off. And Godspell now 1 versus 3, 20 seconds on the clock. He needs to die. There is no other way around it. If you get no money on the back of this, you are in a very awkward position for Godspell. But 10 seconds on the clock, he will lose his life, which, as contradictory as it sounds, is the best thing that could happen to him in that situation with 10 seconds on the clock. Nemesis will be taking a 3-round advantage. Aitzens, this is where it's going to count when the rifles come out.
I think that the bad boys will come out, and we'll see on how will Nemesis will really respond back. Nemesis are trying to, if you notice this in the economy, they're not trying to spend too much. They're trying to preserve, they can build the economy up. I feel like they're anticipating for the rushes in case they do lose the round, but they have money to go back and go for a full buy. So it is a really smart call coming from Nemesis. But I feel like it will come back to haunt them eventually on the map of the Inferno. Joestar is ready again, early second mid control. He's going to work his way up to Abs. Now the AVP now is going to be the biggest challenge for him. And Teen on the other side now. He will soften him up quite a bit though. And he took half his HP out now. While 2 players already getting early banana control now. Given free by the CT sides now.
Yeah. Aces. They did control car, but choosing to fall away. Nemesis not choosing to go for the retake just yet. They don't really have the bodies to facilitate something like that. Aces are actually going for the rotation back towards A. Thomas is caught in limbo a little bit. He has eventually decided to regroup towards the A side of the map, which is the correct call. Asen smoking off long will begin their pressure towards short, but it's going to be crucial for AWP to receive. Falls off the angle, but re-peeks into Jorstair. Coming out of Boiler has been a bit of a death sentence for Asen thus far. And now with a man disadvantage, this duel could be crucial. Thomas, MP9 up against AK as the smoke begins to fade. He tucks himself into Moto through the cover of the smoke. And Asen, they've got an avenue to pincer into B here. 35 seconds on the clock, they need to activate quickly. It'll be 2 on 4 here on the B bomb site. Next is throwing a defensive Molotov into CT, but then gets mollied out of position himself. Forced into the cover of Dark. Nodes and Nexius. Double N, able to get double kills, but Godspell does get there with a kill of his own. 4 versus 2. Asen have the bomb site, but a 2-man disadvantage. It's going to be very difficult to see how they can hold on to this. That MP9 of Thomas has been such a nuisance for Asen, and the AWP of Crucial will put Nemesis onto 4. Asen, they've got some good ideas, they're getting some good positioning, but they are just not winning their gunfights.
Asen are now, we continue to see the struggle like we mentioned before. Their T side is not their go-to side. Maybe you play the terrible side first and have that comeback on the CT side potentially. Or unless Nemesis overruns them. Them being a new team and their strats being unknown makes it harder for a team like Asen to really anti-strat them. And we're not really seeing this Asen really come to life now. And it really is difficult.
Yeah, that is a crucial factor. We said that Nemesis' Inferno was a little bit of an unknown. There's not much for Asen to go off, not much to anti-strat because there's so little information out there. And unfortunately, they don't really know how to deal with this Nemesis setup. And pure firepower is prevailing at the end of the day for the CT side. Once again, playing passive towards the B side of the map, heavy lean towards A from the CTs. HE just peppering Asen down a little bit, making them susceptible.
They already got control of what is required now. Now they got to deal with Nexus and these two are deadly duos. We've seen these firepower between both of them, but they all seem to go towards the A side. But there's already the double stack. Yeah, with Crucial, with the AVP holding it long and Thomas holding it short with the M4. They have a lot of utility on hand. Actually, Thomas has none, apologies. But they are going to go back down. Joseph will stay in the apartment.
Yeah, try and go for the flash, try and deter any sort of aggression coming out from Asen. Crucial posted on long, but does begin his rotate off, and that is the correct decision as Asen's also looking like they want to feign towards the B side of the map. 35 seconds on the clock, a decision has to be made here by the T side. And unfortunately, they may have chosen wrong. It's going to be a nightmare situation to try and crack this bomb site open. Nexius, lovely Kobe nade onto Prime.
Just save it.
No, they're rotating back to A. They've got to speed up very fast. They need to kill time as quickly as possible. But even despite that, you've got Thomas posted on the balcony. He's able to get the first, even as time goes down and doubling up for himself once again. Multi-kill Thomas could be enough for Nemesis, but the bomb can still go down here. Fraser getting it down and relying on Godspell to cover off the library aggression. Yeah. Nexius completely caught off guard. Crucial is there to be able to get the trade, but Fraser still forced into this 1 versus 2 situation. Swinging out into short, and Note will claim the head. Nemesis 5 in a row. They are on fire right now. Asen just don't seem to be able to break through. The sheer firepower on display by the European side is just overwhelming the Brits right now.
I think if you're on the side of Asen, what could you really do? It is difficult, especially you're playing against a team with an unknown entity. That's the word. Entity.
I don't know the word you're trying to get out, to be honest.
Unknown entity.
Unknown
entity.
An unknown entity. There we go.
Yeah. Because they're an unknown entity, especially with the map of Inferno. And Nemesis only played it once on HOTB, but Nexus and Toad are gonna get. Ooh.
Another opening death going the way of Asen at the hands of Utility. Nemesis have been on point with it thus far. And there we go, the spam through the smoke. Prime absolutely deleted before he can even get a shot off. Also they're going hunting, trying to scavenge whatever utility he can. He's actually going to try and push through the edge of the smoke, and that's going to catch Nexius out. Note deploying a defensive smoke of his own and looking like he wants to play aggressive inside it as well. thinking better of it. You can't really afford to lose this man advantage if you're Note. 8sins, the only control they have right now is Banana. Nemesis not really taking the initiative to try and clear out mid because they don't feel they need to. They've got the man advantage and they have been hitting their shots a lot harder. They're not scared of 8sins in this situation right now. And 8sins, they seem to be scared of their own shadows at this point. They have found themselves onto the bomb site. It is undefended. The player's locked inside of the coffin. Boosting up over it is Note. Was spotted out but isn't able to get a kill, but crucially stays alive. Smoke break, not finding any success either. Now begins to fade. Tadpole dropping off, and if he kept his heightened position, maybe he would have been a better spot. Fraser exposed. Note cleaning up once again. It's all going to be put on Jaws there. 1 versus 3, and he's only able to get the one. Nemesis cleaning house right now. 8sins do not look in this map at all.
It's just... There's a lot of talking points, especially on the T side. Now the tactical timer will be called from 8sins. I think it's... Maybe I'm being negative, yeah, I'm being harsh. It should have been called earlier. The first 6 rounds, 7th, it should be called round 4. You knew something was wrong. By the way, 8sins does not have a coach. So they are kind of a disadvantage, so it is difficult to get a third opinion now.
Yeah, obviously, previous coach Rupert Hoop leaving the roster. Yet to find a true replacement.
He's impossible to race.
They do have a strong support team around them, but unfortunately no one with the real tactical brain that they will really require for it. And Fraser having to be forced into the initiative himself. We're going to see a half buy coming out here from 8sins. Mac 10s are plenty, a Tech 9, and I believe it's a P250 on Fraser as well. And there is not a lot. This is what worked out for them on Mirage. The little gimmicky plays with the lesser weaponry. Try and do something a bit more aggressive, a bit more in your face, but unfortunately Nemesis seem to be shooting a lot harder today, being led by Thomas, sitting top of the scoreboard right now at 11-2, and make it 13-3. Another double kill, multi-kill man himself, Thomas. Crucial is going to be caught out to the flying Mac 10. That's an AWP being picked up, but kind of in an awkward position, it has to escape back towards Moto. Fraser, a lovely aggressive heightened position, takes down Tyne. Note is still positioned towards short, going to catch Fraser out, not expecting him to be that advanced that quickly. Molotovs will buy time for the bomb plant, but still would not put it past Nemesis to claw this one out.
It's UB2, Nemesis are going to play for it. They're going to wait for Note to regroup together. Yes, he's going to play from apps now. Note will play. We'll try to jiggle peek it.
Yeah, he's going to try and take the contact, but he's going very aggressive. Nexus is not in a position to trade, and Prime will take down Note. A little bit too over-eager. And unfortunately, that seems to be costing Nemesis in that one. If he just waited a little bit more for the support of Nexius, he could have drawn the fire and allowed them to get a pick into that bomb site, get it down into potentially a 1 versus 1. But unfortunately, a little bit of over-eagerness from Note has cost Nemesis in that one, as 8sins finally break the streak and get their first round.
It is difficult to really determine where could these guys go, because this is the first round they got, but it was a messy round. And it was a half buy. They do really well in half buys. I feel like there's more pressure, or less pressure on them. On full buys, that's where it all starts to go wrong. Crucial's going to try to play more the aggressive pick with the AVP. Get smoked up eventually. He's going to play a little more of a passive angle, hold the angle from long, while the opposing T players are going to try to work the... Jaws, of course, work his way up, get more control of apps now, and Teen with the utility ready, just in case to flush him out. But for now, such a nice timing. He does get the smoke on it though. Crucial.
Yeah. Crucial going for an ambitious shot through the smoke. Unfortunately, just missing his mark. Thomas is isolated inside the cold box, but he does have the spot of time. Double kill keeps Nemesis in this. Crucial through the smoke, missed on the no scope. Godspell and Tadpole cleaning up, and Nexius, that's a crucial kill. That will tempt Nemesis back in here. A site notoriously difficult to retake, but Nemesis want to give this a go.
2v2. They have the money to go for it again. Tadpole Stuck behind the boxes. 2 players coming from short, pushing for the smoke. Now they're playing aggressive. Godspell does get the first kill. Now Note is in a 1v2 situation now. Godspell, he does get the first kill. Godspell, he's going to play around the apps.
Yeah, he's been loud with this reposition though, and it's not planted for him. No, tap on the bomb. He's actually going to try and fight it. Does have a smoke to deploy, and Godspell does need to activate very quickly, but the spam not hitting its mark, and Noka's single bullet is all it's going to take. Nemesis, immediate response. 8sins, your streak stands at 1.
This is going to be a very... I think Mirage was more of a head-to-head game, more of a it was very close, but this, I think we know
this has been a bit of a slaughter. We were hyping up this 8sins Inferno. Domestically, as a map they have been very strong on, but unfortunately the step up in competition is proving it to be a little bit too much for them in this matchup. We are going to see a bit of a change up though for the 8sins side. Fraser finally wielding the AWP.
Fair enough, but we're not really seeing Fraser. Fraser, how he loves to play the AVP, we're not seeing it. They're really getting control of Banana. It's gonna slow down now. Slow and steady does win the race, but doesn't mean. But if you play too slow, Nemesis will punish it and they will go for the hunt. Joestar, same position before. Gonna play the AVP. Oh, gets a nice timing onto team though. Crucial.
Yeah, Crucial's on an island here, needs to peek into Joestar to try and gain some initiative back, and he does collect that kill. That does actually force 8sins into reconsideration, but Fraser, lovely little place. Molotov does get 1 kill, but Nexius with an instant response to swing the advantage back in favor of Nemesis. Repositioning in towards Moto as well, doubling up. And Flash loses life to Fraser. Thomas is there with the response, but Prime gets it into this 1 versus 1. Low HP on the 8sins man. Note rotating in through mid. He's being loud about this. Prime's going to hear this. And he's just going to lie in wait inside of Boiler. Note has to be very thorough. He's actually diverting himself back through long. Oh, they can pass like ships in the night. Prime, you have a decision to make. If you're going to go back to B, you've got to do it quick. But I think, no. He's second guessing himself. He doesn't know where Prime has gotten off to. He is eventually going to commit to the A site where Prime is heading through the apartments. Note is in prime position. This is all going to come down to timing. When does Note check the correct angle? Prime doesn't quite get the spot on him. Note tucked into the cubby, fires off the shot. 10 seconds remain. Prime needs to get this bomb down or to go for the kill. Smoke to try and necessitate a plant. There is going to be time for this. Boosting up on the box.
My God.
Oh, lovely little angle over the smoke from Prime. Individual brilliance gets 8sins their second. And they need to keep this momentum going now. They have to build off the back of that round. Nemesis are going to call a timeout to try and just stunt the momentum there and then. But 8sins, it is a CT-sided map, but you do still need a respectable scoreline, and they need at least a couple more here.
Agreed. Honestly, I agree. Jack, Rick calls a perfect timeout right now because he knows that the economy is not good. It will keep going down. And 8sins only need is 3 more rounds to really have a tight game. Or 2 more rounds, to be fair, to be generous. That will be a head-to-head game that I will actually be excited for. Right now, it is a little scary. It's a little scary right now. Nemesis are kind of losing their form. And Note, you know what I call that weapon? The legendary Apex shotgun. You know why? Every time he's on Banana.
Yeah, you love to see an appearance of the Swag 7. I'm a big shotgun enjoyer.
Oh, I hate shotgun. That's the difference. I hate it. Never works in my favor. You know what my favorite gun is? MP9.
Oh, the old run and gun machine. You could have purchased into one, but choosing for the close range one-tap potential of the Mag 7 is going to be tested straight away by Godspell. But the Mag 7 rings out with 1. Prime is there for the trade to mitigate the damage here for 8sins. Nexius trying to flash himself back in. The flashes are good. Prime full blind. And Nexius is just dodging everything that's being thrown at him right now. Able to collect 2 before his gun runs dry, but still with a dink onto Tadpole. Puts Nemesis in a prime position to take this round away, even if the bomb will go down. Low HP on Tadpole. A lot is going to be asked of Joestar now. 1 versus 3.
1v3 just taking. Let's get the first kill. They can't get the second kill.
Yeah, the tap's just not quite clean enough there from Joestar. Tyne, one of the remaining members from the original Nemesis roster, clutching that one out. So Nemesis will be moving up to 8. And 8sins, they really need something here.
One or two rounds. One or two rounds.
I think they need 2 here. I don't think one's going to be enough. A 9-3 half in favour of Nemesis is just going to be too much for 8sins to overcome, even with the strength that we've seen from their CT sides. And it's going to be a messy buy. 8sins going all in. Fraser relegated to the Deagle, Jawstare and Godspell on Galil's.
You might as well let your team do the hard work and you do the talking. A great call. But now, 2 players will go banana and 3 players are going to go get this early second mid control now. Interesting now. They're going to increase. Ooh. Create a little bit of noise now.
Maybe back to KZ, my friend. I mean, the silent boost at that point, it kind of defeats the point. They know you're under the apartments. You're probably going to go and try and get in there.
It's already revealed anyways.
Yeah, your positions are noted. I mean, maybe they might not expect it, but still, it's an interesting play. I guess they are just sticking to the game plan no matter what goes wrong. You see Jawstare already positioned very aggressively inside the apartments, ready for the smoke fade to get a clear shot onto site, but Tyne waiting just round the corner to try and pounce as he exits. 8sins taking this very slow. Maybe utility for the execute, but not much more than that. Nemesis taking some initiative, clearing out long, and actually going straight into the open arms of Tadpole. Double kill for him, clean headshots. Tyne, though, we said he was waiting around the apartments. He is able to get one, make it a triple kill, HE included. Note spotting the play around bottom mid as well. 8sins' plan is beginning to unravel, but the bomb is diverting itself back in towards B, and that is as Note is pushed down towards mid. B bomb site undefended. 8sins will get a free plant, but it's another post plant with a man disadvantage.
But if you look at health, 2 of the players are very, very low, half dead, and Fraser and Prime are very good health, and except Note, he's a good health. Right now, they need to play this. They need to take on the fight. So 5 seconds left on the clock. Of course, they're gonna run to be Note. Already up banana now. Honestly, it's all about timing now. He Prime's gonna focus on Church, but then we're gonna focus on City. Is a really, really good question. Utility. We'll reveal the location of the 2 CT players now. Prime, is he able to defend in now?
He needs to get this first one very cleanly onto Tyne, and he does, but can't quite adjust with a second onto Thomas. He's going to put it all on the captain, Fraser. Spots the first player jumping up onto the oranges, able to take him down. IGO versus IGO,
God.
and Fraser wins it out to give 8sins a ray of hope. 8-3 now.
You can hear it.
And you can hear the roar from the other side of the venue. 8sins beginning to feel it right now. I just wonder if it's going to be a bit too little too late.
All that is required from the 8sins squad. Honestly, just go for that 1 round. The 1 round is required. The economy is really damaged. They're going to force buy. They're going to send everything in it. There's nothing to lose, to be very open and honest. Yeah. Either way, 8sins need to keep playing the way they are playing. Honestly, it's beautiful. It is chaotic, but the CT side is going to really determine of who will actually go to the upper or the lower bracket.
Yeah, indeed. A defeat for either of these teams will not spell the end of their playoff journey here at EPIC46 with Intel. There's still a lower bracket run to reconsider, but an upper bracket push just gives you that little bit more security. Carp trying to be taken by 8sins, but being very cautious about this, and understandably Nexius playing very close up on the sandbags with that M4. Notes Deagle trying its best to support. He is now coming in to try and facilitate this clear. Activating now, sprinting down. This is going to be heard by Prime, swinging out, able to get the first. Knows the second player is going to be chasing him down, but just doesn't have the HP to deal with it. 8sins are actually going to regroup towards the bottom banana. And that's a good play. Nexius has just called it clear. They've killed the banana lurk. They may not expect this diversion back from 8sins.
Well, they need to go faster. They have to go fast.
They will need to speed up very quickly. Thomas is already deep in towards library. How long will they have before he begins to phase his way back? Nexius going to hear the Molotovs coming in. He's going to be calling the execute coming in. He needs to stay alive as long as possible. Getting at least one is crucial in this situation. He does get the one. But is it going to be enough? Thomas, smoke break, spots out the player in towards the oranges as the bomb goes down. Got spell at the back of the new box. Has Tadpole trying to support him as well from orange. And Nemesis getting their crawl back in. They do not have a kit. They need to activate quickly. Double MP9 for Mass. Something fast needs to come out here from Nemesis. Wait for an opening from Tyne potentially, but unfortunately the SMGs are being shut down. Tadpole has been on fire for 8sins. Another double for him, and Godspell salvages an 8-4 half for 8sins. And going into their CT side, there's going to be a lot of work for them to do, but we know how good they can be on this side.
I think now it would determine, will Nemesis run away with this, with the T side, but a tactical timeout will be called by the 8sins squad now. Now it's to discuss on how they're gonna play this now. I think it's the perfect time to really discuss how many people are we gonna place A, how many people are gonna play B, what type. Are we going to play aggressive, are we going to play passive, or are we going to just play sides? It's one of the few conversations that 8sins will need to discuss, because this will determine, are they going to stay or are they going to go down? It's one of these two now. It's a 4-round difference, and they don't want to make it more difficult for themselves. The CT has been the bread and butter. Let's see that butter the bread up.
Yeah, 8sins with a rich playbook of CT side pistol strategies. Just trying to work out which one is going to be the best to employ. Trying to read into the mind of a legendary IGL such as Thomas. Think like he would and work out what's going to be best to counter it. They are just going to go for a standard 3-2 split with 3 towards A. Flash to try and take a fight down second mid. Peeking from the apartments will be Jaws there, and it's going to be a straight up duel, but unfortunately for 8sins, Nemesis are going to win out. Crucial and Tyne kills in sync. And that's putting a lot of pressure on Fraser now. The aggressive play has not worked. You need to make another one to try and claw this back, and that is the bomb of note being dropped. He needs to be very careful. Crucial is there lying in wait as well as the player down towards the ramp, and it will be time to take down Fraser. A site was momentarily open before Prime rotated back in. And 8sins, they're actually going to gamble towards the A, and I don't think that's the right call. Look at the position of Nemesis. Still waiting for some more aggression out of the CTs. And Prime looks more than happy to provide it at this point. Pushing down mid. Nemesis crawling their way up second. Prime has been spotted out. Nexius takes him down. And Tadpole, he needs to gamble on a site, and I think he's going to choose the B, and it's not going to be the correct call on this occasion.
It's kind of sad to see a little bit, because we know what this team is capable. We've seen it in the first map. The second map, it was such a close map. The third map, it kind of disappeared. We're not seeing the 8sins that we've seen before, but these are UK IC champions, UK IC winners, by the way. This team has a lot to live for, and they are living to the standard, but it is something's, you can kind of sense the synergy is not there. It's the energy is not there. You're not feeling the gameplay. You're not feeling like they're playing together. It sounds like Fraser playing very aggressive mid. I don't think that was the right call. Playing aggressive, trying to get the early space, take it off Nemesis. I think that was a horrible call in my opinion, because now you just got punished, throwing double flashes, and just gave Nemesis just an open pathway. He's gonna save the shield for the next round, so I don't think there's not much I can really say on that.
Yeah, it's the kind of call where if it comes off, you look like a genius. If it fails, you look a bit silly. And unfortunately, the gamble did not pay off for 8sins. Tadpole will be able to preserve the full Kevlar, get the cheap head armor into the next one for a potential force buy, which will be coming out here for 8sins. But yeah, Nemesis, clear advantage right now.
This is a conversation that it's gonna be very hard after this one if they do lose this.
Yeah, you have to say, as we said, a map like Inferno where they have looked so strong domestically, we thought they'd be a lot closer. One of their weaker maps in Mirage, they still managed to make it to double digits. They don't look like anywhere close to that here on the decider. It has been a long day. Maybe fatigue is playing a factor, but unfortunately, Nemesis are in the same boat. They've had to go through the same gauntlet that you have, and they are emerging victorious as things stand, but there's still time for it to change. Still time for 8sins to make their impact. Just there's going to be forced forward by the Molotov, and the Snapping Turtle's going to get nothing done. A double kill coming out from Crucial. Fraser, once again, going to be the sole defender of a site. And deploy the defensive smoke, but Nemesis just spamming him down a little bit.
This is going to be hard. This is honestly going to really be hard. What, a Deagle, MP9, a Molly, and a Flash?
Yeah, the Flash is on the other side of the map though on Tadpole. Prime's Molotov can try and deny the execute here. There is a smoke for the extinguish though on Nexius.
think that Molly was a little bit too early.
Yeah,
Oh my
head spotted. The next guy's not spot the head there. Prime looking out through the smoke. Thomas does adjust to take his head off, and Fraser stuck in towards Dark will be easily cleared out. It's going to be Tadpole here in a 1 versus 5. Not a comfortable situation for him. Nemesis almost certain to be moving on to double digits, and I think you need to just carry this over into the next one. Hero MP9, it's not a fun situation to be in, but it's something.
Did you play for exits? No.
I mean, maybe farm himself up a little bit of cash, but I don't see
Hold
I
on.
don't think there's much he can do. They
If
are
he had a
exiting.
kit,
If he had a kit, maybe it was a possibility, but then look at the position of NEMESIS. He's still waiting around, covering for the bomb, and Nemesis are going to be on the hunt by the looks of things. Crucial, clearing out the apartments, but Tadpole will probably be allowed to keep this lesser weapon. At least it's something to work with in the next. Find yourself up a little bit of money in the next, just maybe try and facilitate that orb for Fraser.
Nemesis are now double digits. This is not the same comeback we had in Mirage. I don't think we're not going to see it. Like, end of the day is just like, something's wrong. You can feel it. Tadpole's on A side. Why is he on A side? Why not come toward the B side? It's so obvious that they're going to attack the B side. But it's understandable that it's initiative that they're going to go toward. They might go back to A side. But
yeah.
with Tom's experience, he knows.
It's a difficult situation for him in that situation hit there, because you're at the man disadvantage, but you also have the opportunity to swing the round back in your favour if you're able to get at least 2 in that as they rotate back to A. It's a gamble that unfortunately didn't pay off for him in that situation, but at least he's got something to work with coming into this one.
I think they're going to go for a B. They're going to play very aggressive towards B, which is very fair.
Yeah, Godspell on the aggressive peak will lose his life to Note. Lucky in the pass, Fraser is here to support Jaws there. Smoked off, no flash to facilitate a push through, but the spam not going to hit its mark. Fraser's rotation will also be smoked off. So, Nemesis, they're just going to walk in, but Thomas getting a little bit over-eager there, losing his life to Tadpole. That is another lesser weapon given over.
Hold on.
And Fraser's 1D keeps us at 3 apiece. 8sins, there is a world in which they win this, but the chance is so slim. Look at the position of Note jumping up on top of the dark box.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Jorster getting that kill onto Crucial. Note trying to go for the spray transfer, but Jorster is still lurking around in ruins, able to get himself a double kill. It's put it all on time. Bomb has not been planted. He needs to pick that up. He needs to get it down. Prime spots him coming out, but Jorster trying to support his teammate will lose his life. Prime needs to try and stay alive, but a crisp one tap from Tide spares Nemesis. They will be moving on to 11, resisting the eco for 8sins. That was a solid eco, but I think it may just be a little too late.
Second time, I will be called by the Nemesis. No.
Yeah, by Nemesis.
Yeah, the second one. Yeah, it was the second one. Second time, will be called out. I think that round got a little bit too close for him. A little bit too close for comfort. Fraser's AWP has come to life. Now it really is going to be do or die. Honestly, it really is going to be do or die. They need to get something started now. I think it's...
Yeah.
Comeback.
It has to be now for 8sins. You've gone all in on this one. You've got a solid amount of loss bonus in the worst case scenario, so you may be able to force into the next one, but this is going to be your best opportunity. Fraser bringing out the AWP, full rifles around it, solid utility. 8sins, if you want to mount the comeback, it has to be now. Heavy pressure towards B, maybe going to try and take banana control away. Heavy util being rained down upon Nexius, but only taking a tickle. Crucial going very aggressively hunting with the AWP. Does pick off Fraser, winning the AWP duel. And Tadpole now has to tuck himself back into the palisade. Loses his head. So Crucial. He has been very quiet this series, but he has come to life here on Inferno. A site completely swarmed by Nemesis. 8sins, save what you can. You need to go again in the next. And that's even if you're allowed to save, because look at Nemesis. They smell blood in the water. They're circling like vultures. And 8sins, it's quite a fitting analogy, because they're nothing but a carcass in this one. They've just been picked apart. Godspell going down. Jorster not even going to have a chance to save. series point going to series point to Nemesis. 8sins. This has not been the performance we expected of them, and it's going. I hate to say it. That 12-6 comeback on Nuke was something special, but you're going to need to do even better. And I don't think it's possible.
It's going to be a Hail Mary. Honestly, this 8sins squad is capable of doing it with a loss bonus. And honestly, I feel like that round kind of set the state of what's going to happen now. Unless Fraser pulls another masterclass, and I have no doubt in that masterclass.
Yeah.
Jasha is going to play early control into Banana now. He's already low, but it's not enough.
Yeah,
Thomas.
Lovely change of pace there from 8sins, taking initiative into your own hands. It has netted you an opening kill, but at the cost of a significant amount of HP on 2 players. Is it a gamble that was worth taking? We do see a full rotation over towards A site. Nemesis is going to be in for a nasty surprise when they walk around this corner and see 2 players inside of the arch. Godspell does get another one onto no. Tapol falls, but Godspell again, that MP9 doing absolute wonders. Tyne all alone, low HP. He is being chased down right now. Throwing his weapon in panic, get the AK out of there. Do not give that over to the CT. Smart play, knowing the round is lost. 5-7 in a dream, but the dream is just limiting what 8sins can take into the next, because this is almost certain to be their round. Fraser a bit slow on the reactions there. I don't think he was expecting time to push him, but he will still finish the job no matter what. 8sins, that's the first match point that they've had to resist. They've still got a long way to go.
They have 7 more to go, Tra. 7 more to go. Are we going to see this come back again? On the side of Nemesis, they have the money, they have everything to play with, but we have seen these Nemesis squad has fell down at match point. We've seen them choke.
Yeah,
it's not the
if
first.
you think back to Nuke, it was 6 in a row that got 8sins into overtime. It would need to be 8 here. Quite fitting. A decent omen considering the name. 8 rounds for 8sins in a row required. But this one has got off to a good start as well. Fraser picking off his opposing IGL in Thomas. And this aggressive push down mid as well. No, really not expecting Tadpole to be that aggressive down. Prime providing cover as well. They're with the trade, and whoa. Nemesis, again,
oh my God.
Are we going to see it again? I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it is now 6-12. 8sins have done this before.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm saying to you right now, I will say we should call it around once we reach 9 or 10. That's when we start calling it. Because this has happened to us before.
It's happened before. We've seen plenty of fake comebacks in previous games, but you never know. Maybe tonight's the night. On Halloween, can the sinners pull off the unthinkable?
Indeed. Now they're gonna awful second mid. Tadpole does get the first kill onto Teen Mount, and next returns the flavor though. From the longer approach, just gets softened up by the grenades though. Fraser with a nice AWP kill. He's going back to back.
Yeah, next he has fully blind, easy pickings for Godspell, Crucial and Thomas. Just the Glocks, and yep, this is more than likely going to be an 8sins round. He does get the dink, but no kill. 8sins building bank, but it's not going to be necessary really if they lose a round. So, Nemesis, the rifles will come back out. No AWP for Crucial.
I think that's a right call, because now I think is this going to happen again? Is history going to repeat itself as a whole?
It can't happen twice. If Nemesis let this happen twice, it will be an utter catastrophe.
If I was Nemesis, yeah, I'll actually be embarrassed. Because if this happened twice and you lose in OT, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, well, 8sins still with a long way to go, and it's going to be something very fast. Whoa. Big change of pace out of Nemesis. Jawstare completely taken out of the round, and Fraser can't even fire off a shot. Just as we were saying that the possibility was a real maybe. We spoke too soon. Crucial with that recovered AWP picks off Prime, and it's going to be a 2 versus 5 retake of the B-bomb site. Godspell optimistic with the spam, but unfortunately it's nothing connecting.
3 players are low on the Team Nemesis side. A 2v5 could be done by these two, but full health.
It's such a difficult side to retake with a disadvantage. Nemesis, even with the low HP players, if they play off each other, then they can get this one over the line, especially if Tadpole goes down quick. Godspell gets one, but it's just not going to be enough. Nemesis take down 8sins. They progress in the upper bracket, relegating the Brits to the lower, and that was an incredible series, but unfortunately for the Brits, not coming up. They just left it a bit too little, too late in that final map.
Let's be honest, it was kind of more of a one-sided map. It really was.
It was a significant change. Nemesis got off to such a hot start. If 8sins had got going a bit quicker, maybe got a couple more rounds early on, then maybe that potential comeback towards the end is possible. But unfortunately, Nemesis had built themselves such an advantage. It was going to be such a challenge for 8sins to overcome. They gave it a go, but unfortunately came up short, and the change of pace at the end from Nemesis breaking the Sinners' hearts.
The first half, it was, let's be honest, it was appalling. No disrespect here, no disrespect. End of the day, we have to be honest with ourselves, because the first half is always the most important half. Okay, cool, you might not get the scoreline you needed, but at least try to keep yourself in the game. Frazier, I don't know what he was calling, let's be honest. As of Opa and Idra, I think he was more thinking about getting more frags. I understand why he may want more frags, but the main point is this: you were not able to get control of it anywhere. You tried to get banana control, you were getting punished for that. But you were not punishing the CTs. What really annoyed me the most, especially your pacing, you're getting apartment control. A site never worked. It only worked 4 times. You never went to the B site. Of course, the B site, if you get control of the B site, it's more difficult for the CT to get the retakes. And you always had the man advantage, but somehow you guys fumbled it. End of the day is this 8sins, GG's to them, and congratulations to Nemesis. I think it was already predicted already.
I mean, we expected Nemesis to go through. That was the pick. That was probably the favoured pick. But 8sins, they did really well to make it competitive. That comeback on Nuke will go down in history. The Mirage game, that making it that close, that did give us hope, but unfortunately, just such a slow start on Inferno. We did, as we said, multiple people have been quite critical of Fraser's calling. I think particularly towards the end of the half, he really did step it up, but unfortunately, they just left it too late, and the comeback was just never going to be possible. Once Nemesis got rolling on their T side, built themselves a little bit of an advantage, it was going to be really difficult for 8sins, and it just proved to be impossible.
And props to Thomas, man, and Nexus. You know, Nexus, year away, back into Counter-Strike, starting from scratch. Have a lot of respect for him. I think the time at him with his OG, I think it's kind of really playing off, because, you know, OG is a well-respected org. They not be at the highest in the country at Tier 2 right now, but they have the knowledge. And I feel like when he played with them, when he was in Tier 1, played with certain LAN events, which were example like PGL to ESL, honestly, you can kind of see the experience coming towards Epic LAN. You can kind of see how he's grown as a player. Seeing him from then to now, because I used to watch Nexus when he was an OG. So it's interesting to see him in Team Nemesis. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this series up tonight. Tomorrow we got a full fun packed day, group stage stream A and B.
Nah,
so
it's not group stage. Group stage is done, my friend. It's playoffs, boy.
Playoffs.
Best of 3s from here on out here at EPIC46 with Intel. The CS2 tournament presented by Asus ROG will be continuing tomorrow. This is going to be a wrap tonight. Thank you again to our sponsors, Intel, Asus ROG, XP Pro Eyewear, and Overclockers UK. And we'll be back tomorrow to bring you more Counter-Strike.
Have a good night, guys.